Like, oh, you want to take me to your house? Okay, I'm gonna sit here and drink coffee like I would in my own house,
Hey, I
because
mean,
I ain't fucking scared. What's the worst you can do? Kill me? That sends me home sooner.
exactly. Like there was no we were I don't think anyone was validly trying to intimidate. I mean, we're doing the
No.
big person role play, but no one really
Yeah, I
thought they
mean,
could
like,
intimidate. We're like, yeah, we can just
there was the posturing, but even
yeah.
in character, it wasn't gonna stick.
Yeah,
There's a certain
exactly.
amount of power in just being completely nonchalant about it. Like, you've seen Labyrinth. You remember Sir Didymus going to, like, the entire crowd who has him pinned in a corner and saying, "Drop your weapons and I'll see you're well treated." That kind of cavalier attitude.
That's yeah, that actually pretty well describes it. Absolutely does. Any who?
So, yeah, no, the only reason that any bounties got set is because Eowyn sent a message to Ink going like, "We're gonna kidnap your guy," and he's like, "Okay, but if you do that, we have to, like, set a fine." And then
Uh,
he followed the law. So there was a warning about this. It
eh,
was said up front. That's how it is.
that's just I'm not gonna touch it because
That's
poor
fair.
poor Aelin. She just didn't know any better. She was trying to be funny. I can tell. She's a little bit of a goof too. You know.
Yeah, she's fine.
She's
I like
fine.
her.
I love her. She's adorable.
It's just one of those, uh-oh, you fucked around and you found out. Oh no.
Oh no! What have you done? Oh well, that's slightly older news. So
Yeah, yeah, that's ancient history at this point.
yeah.
So,
So
I
what's
found out.
yes?
What? What? You.
Oh no,
No,
you
you.
you 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 found out what? Please tell me.
I found out that the Dendara thing is player driven. It's you who's driving that, and I think that is fantastic.
Oh yeah. It was like we had a couple of like admin kind of hints I feel like from Hearn like just giving us the lowdown of what's going on, which since we're in here I trust, people that are listening to not meta, to not like take what's said in a stream to the game, because if you're doing that, bad play, people, bad play. But legit, Dendara's dying. It's put itself to sleep kind of level of it's dying, which is not good. And now
Yeah, me
this
too, fam. Okay.
yeah, it's like this gives you a lot of context as to why Duran is like freaking the fuck out, like holy shit, we knew it was bad and we knew Shadow did not need to be leaking that bad in there, but we didn't know that Layla's, what she did was just a like temporarily healing and didn't like push back anything. It didn't stop it from dying. It's dying. It's gonna die in a matter of time. We just don't know how soon. Awkward
And the
chuckle.
answer is, oh, sooner than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, and that's like the part we're having to keep under wraps a little bit, because we don't want people freaking out, because obviously we don't know what the effect of not having the life plane is going to be on the player base, because obviously the death plane is where you go when you die and you're sent through the mirror and you come back. That's the whole thing there. But what happens with life not being there? Besides, like, we don't get animals to eat on, we don't get plants potentially, because obviously that's part of life and living. But what else? Do we just die? Like when we go to death, do we officially die at that point because there's no part of the reincarnation process? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, no, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Um, which leads to my excitement about intercity relationships, because coming to Spines Reach was the best possible idea, because here's a fun fact about Spines Reach. We are minding our business 80% of the time because Bloodlock is off its shits and we want nothing of it. It's
Yeah.
like, when you have a friend that you have to warn people is kind of a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, I'm so sorry, let me get them out of here. But
That's part of why like a lot of the Duran people don't want to have intercity relationships with Spines Reach, is just because they are so wary that word is going to get back, and that's part of why we also haven't like said anything about it being dead or not dead, but dying and everything. It's just going to be like, what if by accident, Bloodlock finds out, and then they decide, hey, let's just make it worse so that everyone is forced to either die or become undead. That would be very on par for them.
And that's a very valid concern.
Yeah.
However, the people of Spines Reach, most people are not talking about it because they
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
There was a whole ass news post.
Oh, I saw it.
Or
I
it was
have
just,
an alt that I
yeah,
had made up there. I'm not using it on
yeah,
Rin or anything, but I was like, oh, that's a very well written post about it.
yeah. Ink makes great news posts. He's very reasonable.
He
The only
is.
thing that he bent is the fact that our flag colors don't go in that order, but he hated how it looked, so he put it like it's green, white, and yellow. I hate that. We're fixing it.
New color time.
No, we're just inverting.
That works. That works. Well,
Anyway,
anyway.
so there's already deliberation among like archivists and sciomancers, and Sisson are like, what are we gonna do? Like, when we have a project that we're actually interested in engaging in,
Mm-hmm.
we will go buck wild and run directly into it. We love to do these things. So it's like, hey, the plane of life is dying. Can you guys figure out a way to siphon out all of the shadow and figure out what's going on with it? It's like, oh my god, a project? Yay!
I know. I've already had Nasavi was role playing with me and everything, and trying to poke and find out exactly how bad the damage is. And it's like, sorry, we still can't take you in there because we don't trust you. And I also can't tell you it's dying. Like it's really bad. So you're just gonna have to wing it and tell me what can we do.
Yeah, and like we're trying to plan around that because it's like, oh, we're shadow aligned, so if we step into Dendara, we'll just get fucking nuked. So we got to figure out how to do this remotely. What can we give them? How can we do this? Okay, da 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 da. Like, there's whole ass conversation going on around this because like we're all like, ooh, project,
Yeah,
because
and
we're all huge nerds.
well, I keep wondering about that whole do you guys die when you go in there? I think I'm wondering if, like, just talking, role play, lore, that sort of thing, if it's only doing it because, you know, there's too much shadow already in there, so it's trying to be protective, so it's lashing out at anything additionally shadow to try to make it not happen. Because technically, there is shadow in life and spirit in life. That's,
Yeah, yeah.
a natural thing. So I'm wondering if that's the only reason. Like, if we could if like roleplay wise, if there could be an excess of spirits somehow, could shadow people possibly come inside? And then spirit people be the ones that are kind of, looked at a little bit badly or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of been spitballing all of these different ideas. That's how like, the Duran people have been treating it, is just trying to think of every possible scenario, like try to think of what is causing this, what can we do, why can't people go in there, why are certain people not able to, and just trying to figure out all these things, because it would be better if you guys could come in realistically. That's like what my character thinks is like, I'll just sneak a Sciomancer in there one time and they can just siphon this shit out and we'll be good, right? um and just I leave them there and they permanently do it. That's all they'll do for the rest of their lives. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a long-term solution. I don't know how to break it to you, but they will get
No,
mad.
they will get mad, but that was like a theory my character had, is like, I could absolutely just sneak one in there. They start siphoning it, and I like tie them down so they can't do anything else, and they're helpless, and that's what they have to do the rest of their existence. It's a foolproof plan for a short term fix.
You can just ask them nicely.
There is
We
no
are also
asking
in
nicer.
agreement that we don't want Shadow taking over everything.
It's like, no, there
Like,
is no
don't make your
asking.
shit complicated.
Well, okay, sorry. There will be nice asking to get the person inside, but there's no asking to say, hey, can you just, sacrifice your life, for the rest of time, just doing this right? You can do that. It's cool. We're good. I'll come bring you food occasionally. You'll be fine. Just pee in a cup.
There might be somebody who's like that.
There might be.
There might be somebody who would love to sacrifice their Sciomancer and start over and want to have a glorious exit. They really could.
There really could be. And you know what?
Yeah.
I could see it going terribly wrong and that person just exploding in Dendar and making it worse. So that is the reason why that plan has not been hashed out further. It's just, it sounds like it could go terribly wrong.
And people think Shadow are mean. We've never done that shit.
Oh man, Duran is getting like the worst rap right now because of the fact that we were like, yeah, we're okay with killing kids and children and babies. It's fine. There's an end goal, and they were gonna go die anyway at some point, right? Yeah.
Meanwhile, Spines Reach is like, okay, so we do have these areas for refugees. How can we go ahead and get them?
Yeah. Oh, you talking about like the villages and stuff from the events?
Villages, slaves, refugees, stuff like that. It's like people in the city do have NPCs that they do care about, and not even named NPCs. It's just this is something that I'm actually pressed about, and we are actually concerned with human welfare
Yeah.
or people's welfare, to be more accurate.
Yeah.
So, like, Experience get a bad rap because they're lumped in with Bloodlock and often loose on their morals because they're interested in, like, I don't know, going to the moon because that's where capitalism can't reach them, to
Yeah.
paraphrase Tim Curry.
Very good one. I approve.
Space! But also, like, the fun thing about it being a free city is that if somebody comes in with, like, a spicy, ice cold take about, like, morality on the city chat, there will be a long and extended conversation where everybody weighs in about how it's like, you are based or you are cringe.
Cringe. Cringe.
What? You want to sacrifice children for this? Don't be stupid. They're unstable. Get adults. They're done growing.
But maybe you need people at the like precipice of life, and I don't know that adults are at the precipice of life. Like they don't have as much energy. Their brains are not able to handle as much information anymore. When you're a child, you're at like that peak where your brain is just connecting everything and can absorb so much shit. So
That is
technically,
okay, but that's not necessarily true.
mm, it's just how you
Because
look at it.
would you trust a 7-year-old to be able to drive you on the highway and manage to keep up with all of the bullshit from people exiting, entering, making weird zipper pullovers, and getting cut off?
I don't know. I've met some 7-year-olds I really might trust to do that. Yeah.
Most of them, though,
Most of them, no, though, yeah. But if we're just sacrificing them, if we're literally just taking them to an altar and killing them for the sake of something more important, I'm going to kill a baby.
well, no, 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 no. This was for like experiments,
Oh,
not for
experiments. Okay,
sacrificing.
got you.
It's like, no, no, no.
Experiments.
If you're gonna make a stable sample, like take some statistics 101 and data gathering. Don't just make a weird ass scatter plot because that's what you're aiming for, you know. And this is where Spines Reach comes in.
No,
It's
that
like, no, no, no. Your data table is all wrong.
Now that makes a lot more sense. If you're talking about experiments, yes, you want to work with the form of people that you're going to end up adjusting later. So yeah, you want to play with experiments. You want to play with the adults. I was just saying for the sacrificial babies and stuff that chatter. It's like, it's they're the peak of life, so they might be good energy for the killing. But though realistically, it was just a threat thing where the channel will, hey, we want to knock out your entire line. That's going to be our threat. So, behave, do what we want, or we kill your wife and your kids. Typical trope.
Sometimes you gotta put a motherfucker in its place. Like,
Pretty much.
solid.
Yeah.
However, it's still valid to have feelings about it.
Oh
There
yeah.
you can have room for everything.
You can have room for
But
everything. Exactly.
this is where my interest in intertether friendships occurs because, like, Pietre had to point out to Rihrin that they're friends.
I know.
It's like, yes, we are. Are we not?
And for
Where were you?
she's just sitting there like, Well, I guess we do talk, we do exchange things, we do this, we do that. I guess that counts as friendship. Ah, awkward. I'm friends with someone from Shadow. That's kind of how that played out in her head, just so you know.
What and, like, on his part, he was like, "Oh, I'm probably not supposed to be friends with people in spirit."
Who cares? Like Kalina hangs out with, you know,
Yeah,
family still,
Kalina.
so it happens. And
Yeah,
Kalina's friends with a lot of people, so it happens. It's okay.
yeah. Once again, I'm from a totally different age from, like, player perspective point of view. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard the horror stories of how people in Spirit would get berated for a week straight over even talking to me in the same room without somebody monitoring. It's like, "Are you guys in hell? You guys okay?" Like,
Yeah.
sometimes people of different tethers can both like the same kind of cookie. Did you know that we're, like, similar sometimes?
Yeah.
And I
I
think it honestly strengthens the game to have, like, the acknowledgement. Like, both of them know that they are rooting for different teams for their own reasons,
right.
even if those reasons have not been disclosed. Like, Pietra's in Shadow for a reason, Rihrin's in Spirit for a reason, even if they have some overlap. But both of them are, like, agreeing to not make that a thing
For now at least.
until it needs to be.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I think that's a really important nuance to have in interactions with other people. Like, if you want to play the entire, really severe, like, I cannot interact with people of the other tether, it is a betrayal of my character's morals, do what you gotta do, son. I applaud you because, like, sticking to your guns and your role and playing out a role like that, not easy, but admirable if it's done well. And I love to
Exactly.
see people thrive, even if it's not something I get to play along with.
Yeah. That's how my character used to be, but I eventually realized I don't like being that zealous that much, so I'm gonna change my character. Ceramus did have a question. Are the
Mhm.
straights spirit folks okay?
Oh, not as far as I can tell. I don't have any alts. I'm just playing one sweet puppy man in Spine's Reach, but probably not if they're hollering at each other for having a normal conversation in the wrong spot.
I don't really feel like it's that many people that do it anymore, honestly. Most people realize the game community is pretty small. It's better to allow for some flexibility. Now, are they going to side eye it a little bit? Yeah, and probably pick on you maybe, but they're going to, not do that whole thing like certain players I won't say the names for, where they would spy on you in season and make sure what exactly you're doing, and then like city disfavor you or call you out in city channel and be like, hey, what you doing over there, or possibly try to kill you for it. I'm naming a variety of different characters that I've been involved with that kind of drama over the years. Definitely don't deal with
Damn,
that
that
anymore.
sounds exhausting.
It is like one in particular in was Durrani when I was a recent shrubbery, and she legit was just going after people and killing them because she suspected that person was spying and lying to her and all this other stuff, and it's just like, geez, Louise, take a chill pill. I'm gonna be very 80s 90s about that. Take a chill pill, please. Have a life. But it's definitely not just been that one person. It's been bad over the years. Every so often there will be those one to two people, one on either side. In fact, you see it less on the other side, just because Shadow is a little bit easier to just kind of get away with whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, we're scallywags. That's
eh,
what we do.
exactly. That's the intentional thing. Spirit is intended to be, depending on which city you're in, it's meant to be a little bit more moral about that stuff. So usually Spirit you see it more, and that's a lot of what they do though. Is they will either go citizen and observe and report back and nag, and even in some cases try to blackmail, and just make your life a living hell for weeks on end. They don't play
Wow,
anymore, so it's
I would
fantastic.
I would in fact quit because I don't need to be harassed in my fantasy life. I
Ex-
don't.
Exactly. I remember it happening to several people in Duran back when I had a different character. And they just, didn't want to play anymore because they were just being treated that badly. So thankfully, we don't get that bad of that extreme of it. It just will be a little bit of side eyeing. Like Illy will be like, "Why are you talking to Spyrians? Those people suck." So will Sid. But they, won't say much else. They'll just be like, kind of do man grumbles and move on. Maybe call them, assholes or they suck, things like that. But they're not gonna tell me, you're just completely off base here. Let me belittle you further. It's good. Thank goodness.
It's like, you're out here having fun and seeing broadness of character in other people and considering that there might be more in common than we have than our tether. It's like, do you have a life outside of monitoring what everybody else does? Because, like, that's really sad.
If you could rearrange words, you have a very good Yoda voice right there.
For real? I sound
Yeah.
like Frank Oz?
I feel like you did. That's how it sounded to me, at least. Now you're thinking
Thank
about how.
you.
I was about to say, are you thinking of trying to do it now?
A little bit, but I know I would get it absolutely wrong because I don't have the right gravel.
Yeah. And plus, trying to think on the spot of how to rearrange the words the right way, I can't do it. I just can't. My brain. I'm dyslexic, but I can't do it for some reason.
Well, it's kind of like trying to stammer correctly on command.
Yeah.
That's not something that's terribly easy to do unless you're the voice actor for Porky Pig. And
And
even then, he had
that's how
practice.
it's like da. That's how bad.
Yeah.
That's how bad I sound. That's how bad. Yeah.
Hey, that's not bad. It's the first step. I've seen the guy walk through his process, and it's like, gotta work on that.
And it's got to be on specific letters too. So, oh, I can't even imagine. I can't do it. I just can't. I refuse. Okay.
No
Anyway,
way. But like, yeah, apparently we're living in something resembling a golden age where we have an administration that actually listens to and acknowledges people in it instead of breezing it over like the previous um producer administrator situation. I was there for the end of tier and the onset of ICD. So I do see the basis for comparison, but since I was spending 80% of my time flailing and going like, "Oh my god, I hate this game so fucking much," I didn't even know what was going on with the admin.
yeah. It's like honestly, I would end up giving a hot take that people are not going to like. In my opinion, is that when Tier started, he was good. When he was first in it, he was doing a good job. He was trying to listen to players. He was trying to do and take their feedback and do good things. But gradually, like so many that aren't prepared for the work in that particular position and with their own real life things going on, just like in any managerial role, unfortunately, you lose steam, you get jaded, and then you stop giving a fuck to an extent and focus on other things. So I feel like a lot of it was just, he should have stepped back ages ago. Like he just, you know, wasn't all there anymore, unfortunately, and just wasn't prepared to keep doing the role. He should have stepped down and or quit, as whichever way you want to talk about it. So just because of that fact, he ended up really kind of digging his grave as far as how bad it managed to get. Because I mean, I'm talking probably a couple of years he should have quit, frankly. But that's my hot take on it. I know people are going to disagree with me because there's a lot of people that have a lot of bitterness, and I understand it, and I really do get it. But that's how I took it. It's just stop being a manager if you don't like it and you don't want to do it.
Yeah, as the t-shirt says, if it sucks, hit the bricks.
Exactly, just like the meme says, you can leave meetings, you can run away, it's fine.
I have that t-shirt. It's great.
I need it. I need to wear it in my meetings because lately I'm still doing my manager thing. I'm actually even getting a nice fancy little new title. I'm excited, but at the same time, I am so so tired of dealing with the higher level crap I have to deal with. But, it has its reward, so I keep going. It's okay.
Well, here you go. I'll just go ahead and send you a link to this shirt.
Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Of
I,
course.
I appreciate it.
I will post it into the chat because I think everybody should have the opportunity to see this
Oh,
company's business.
I think I'm blocking links. Crap.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
posted it.
it
Well,
doesn't
I'll DM
show.
it to you too.
Okay. Yeah, because on my end, it doesn't show in chat. It just shows dot, dot, dots.
Well, unfortunately, sometimes people are sending things in good earnest. So your lack of trust.
Well, you're right. And actually, why aren't you even? You should be an admin. I'm going to go fix that while I'm in here. So we'll keep
Holy
talking, but
shit, I'm getting a responsibility.
I mean,
I'm legalizing everything.
oh God.
Okay, almost everything.
Okay,
Don't be a dick.
don't be a dick, Dick. There you go.
Yeah, that's the rule.
Okay.
If you have to ask yourself, am I being a dick? Then the answer is yes, and you gotta sit down.
Exactly. That's just a true fact. Absolute
Yeah,
true fact. Okay. Now you have
which,
the admin stuff. So should
thank you. I have no idea what that entails, so I
um
have no way of actually abusing this.
yeah, it's just moderator, so you could technically ban people if you need to, that sort of thing. Delete
Oh, I have
messages.
moderator view now. Oh, there's a
Yeah.
lot of buttons. Okay.
I love how you said there's a lot of buttons. But
It just means that I'm not gonna touch anything because I don't want to break it.
I can appreciate that. I can.
Yeah, it
Okay. Oh.
shit dog, it's not mine. I'm not gonna do that.
I'm just trying to like while we're talking, I'm just trying to see where if I can change that setting. So don't worry about me. We can keep on talking.
Okay.
Um so,
I think this kind of loops into this morning's hot debate about like self-moderation when playing this game.
oh yeah, cuz there's the whole and actually there ended up being a thread later that
Yeah,
this afternoon about adding more to the ignore button
I
functionality.
found it going like really circular because everybody is like not opposed necessarily to capping the number of people that you can ignore, but are definitely in favor of a self-check of, buddy, are you okay? Like, what
Yeah.
are you doing? What has everybody else done that is so upsetting? Like, you gotta take a step back and make sure that you know, like, is this actually something you're enjoying, or is it something you're enduring and dealing with the sunken cost fallacy?
Yeah. And I agree like I'm pretty sure that one of the people that's asking for this, functionality to have more ignores on their list is someone that's utilizing it primarily to be able to kind of make their own insular community where they don't hear anything from those particular people at all, which I can understand, but at some point you have to realize you can figure out a way to code it out or something. You don't need to micromanage the game that much. If you are, then why are you playing a role playing game at all? Because it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I got it for what my excuse was, which is, someone has a bunch of alts. They're an altaholic. They've got like 10 alts, and it doesn't ignore at the email level just for obvious reasons. I feel like you may be willing to interact with certain ones of their character, whatever. Or you may not know. Like it whatever. But otherwise I don't really see the need to have more. I that's just what I feel like.
Like, I don't see any reason why not to give it a limit of like 20.
Yeah, maybe that
But
wouldn't be bad.
yeah, 20, okay, because, people get into their weird little cliques, and if you're really having that much trouble and you sincerely just want to, like, sit there and do your thing and not deal with people, I think it's very fine to have it accessible to customize your own way. However, is it worth it? This is not a solo game. The other day, people were talking about how to win this game, and I'm not sure that there's such a thing as winning this game.
No, there's not a
Like, there's
there's not a win.
there's no there's no end goal. You don't have you don't collect 120 stars and beat Bowser. You don't win the game.
Man, I love your old references. They're so nice, so refreshing.
Thank you.
Welcome. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I could get behind 20. I could even get behind maybe 30, but probably that I feel like that would be too high. Uh, but I do feel like people need to evaluate why they're playing the game a little bit more. And
Yeah.
I
And
get that a lot of people, not a lot actually, I shouldn't say it that way. There are like probably a solid quarter of our community that are very much solo players. Like they do
yeah,
not want to interact. They want to go do their PvE or they want to go do their PvP. And they do not want to do guild promotions. They don't want to talk to anybody. Or if they do, they just have a select few they want to talk to. I get that. Does that mean that they need a sweeping way to ignore the very lively community around them? No, it's called just tunnel vision. I mean, you can just look away when other people are talking. It's not that hard. It's
and a couple other points on that. To do PvP, you still need to interact with people.
yep.
Like, you literally cannot play this game alone.
Yeah, you have to be able to, especially if you kill them without like they feel like they don't have there's not a valid reason. You need to be able to interact. You need to have PK calls unless you're just secting. There's so many different reasons. If you need city rewards, you still have to interact with someone,
Yeah,
or if you have general questions, hey, guess what? You still have
yeah,
to interact with someone. You want to buy something, you want to go to shops and buy stuff, still have to do some minimal interactions.
right. And number two, there was a question of interacting with people's mental health spaces. So, a bit of background on me. One, I am treated for anxiety. I have anxiety problems. I have social anxiety. I do not interact with people if they don't invite me because I'm afraid I'm about to ruin their evening just by bumbling up and saying hello. Like, one of the reasons I'm perfectly happy in my own little bubble doing my own things is because I am very scared to interrupt other people.
Mm.
Like, the reason that I do not leave my little lounge and let people come to me is because I am anxious and don't want to be annoying. That's a me problem. That's something I have to work on. And like, yes, ignoring people, if that's what'll really save your problem, okay, but they're not gonna go away.
No.
They're not. And like, it's a band-aid to a bigger situation where you are so aggrieved of even seeing somebody's name or being reminded that they exist that you cannot function in the game without, like, completely omitting them from it. And if you have to do that with, like, such a majority of the people in it, like, if you have to get rid of 20 people out of, like, at maximum, how many people are online right now? Let's do a quick who. 66 people. You'd be getting rid of one third of the people here.
Yeah.
There's a point where you have to sit back and go, is it actually worth it for me to play this game if it's putting me under this much stress?
Yeah.
Like, you do have to self evaluate and you do have to take responsibility for yourself and be 100% real with, is this actually worth all of the work and mind power I'm putting into it?
Oh.
And I say that as somebody who is not a quitter. I have the worst time quitting. I do not quit things. My friends had to issue the quit your job challenge,
Oh
and
boy.
it still took me months. So, yes, I'm saying this with full respect to mental health problems. It's very difficult, but one of the fundamentals is that you have to look out for yourself. And sometimes looking out for yourself is saying, it's not worth it.
Yeah. I have to completely agree. Like, I don't have a lot of my stuff diagnosed. I've not really made the proper efforts, mostly because I tried to, and the psychiatrist way too damn expensive.
Yeah,
Um,
they are.
they are. So at some point, I will make the proper effort to get more than my depression actual diagnosis. But I have a lot of the same stuff I know it's people don't believe me half the time, but I have the same issue as you where I feel like I'm going to end up becoming a burden to people or I'm going to be bothering them too much. I still go and end up doing it because I also don't like silence. I don't like feeling, I can't sit still very well. So when I see people on, I'm just, very proactive, like, okay, I'm going to go say hi. I'm going to go say hi. And then I realize, oh crap, I'm saying hi and I'm talking to them a lot. I bet you I'm becoming annoying. And then I become very self aware of it and very self conscious about it and have my, just yeah, as you were saying, like I have my own issues with it. Um, and there have been cases where, because of interactions with particular players over the years, I have actually stepped back from the game. I mean, I've retired characters and hidden too. That is something I have to admit more than I like to, is a good number of my characters being retired is because I felt overwhelmed because of certain players that I was having to deal with. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to start over. I'm going to hide, and no one's going to know who I am for a good amount of time. And I can just enjoy the game for a little while with no one knowing. And hopefully it'll reset, player expectations and everything. And usually it does, at least for a time. Occasionally there's been people that have still figured out who I was and just was like, oh, it's you. I'm going to start ignoring you now, and I'm going to make your life difficult. But luckily, hasn't really been as much of an issue in a while. But there have been times where I have had to do that. And I am also not a quitter. I hate to quit things. I like and prefer to keep at it. That's just, the attitude that I have. So it's always hard. And I end up coming back because I can't permanently quit. I enjoy it to, in my way. Luckily, the people that had been giving me issues in the past, they don't really play or bother me. So I'm in a good
Well,
headspace in that case.
from what I've come to understand from today's discussion, a lot of the cranky pants out there got very upset that me and my fellow transgendereds showed up and demanded basic respect.
Really?
Well, I'm just going by what was going in general chat. I'm not trying to start shit. I'm making a joke about how oh no, not the trans people.
Oh gosh, where did that happen?
I was in the gen chat. It was mixed in. It was like, the only reason I ignore people is because they're using slurs, and I'm like, I never hear any slurs. Is it because I'm never in web? Because I'm never in web.
Oh,
I, I get
that's
crowded enough in my own life. I don't need more.
I will say that there are a handful of people. Most of the people that do that do not play anymore, thankfully. But there have been actually there was a thing in Shadow Web back a month and a half, 2 months ago, something like that, where someone said a slur that is actually something of a coined term in the Cajun region. They like to
Oh.
actually use that term for themselves, but it is very much not a good term. It is very much a racist term, but they didn't want to understand that fact. They, because of the fact that they like to use it for themselves, it should be okay for them to say it. It's like, no, it's still not
Well,
okay. At least not in a public place like this where other people may take offense to it.
yeah, okay. So my stance on things like that are if it is self-referential or with an extremely curated, like cleared okay group,
Yeah, that's
then
one thing.
all right, but you can't just throw that in everybody's face. Like reclamation of the word queer. I'm queer, my partner is queer, but if somebody's not comfortable being called queer, you don't call them queer.
Yeah, you just don't call them that. Exactly. Like, it would be okay if they had said it and yeah, the group was okay with that term, but a bunch of people are like, hey, we're not okay with that. And then that person flipped out on us. So that's when it's not
Actually,
okay. And that would be a person I would end up ignoring in that case, usually for at least a little while, so I don't have to hear it any further or just drop web, frankly, is what I normally do.
oh,
Um,
whoa. Oh, actually, I think I remember this.
yeah,
Wasn't it in like Discord?
no, I don't know if it happened in Discord. This one was specifically in the web, and it was two different people. Like one person said it, and the other person defended them, and the defender was actually the one that got very pissed off and
Huh.
really argued and got mean with us. And we were all very nice about it. We were very respectful, but they still just, kind of were very
Well,
belligerent.
either I've got the Mandela effect or I've had this interaction before somewhere else, and people are alike all over.
Pretty much.
Well, so
But
be it.
it doesn't happen nearly as much as it used to, though. There used to be literally, like, at least, again, I'll even say it this way, a quarter of the game that would use racial slurs or would use not derogatory, but would use I don't know if I would call it derogatory. I'm not sure how to say it, but would say things like gay and queer and things like that when it wasn't necessarily appropriate to the conversation. They were just using it loosely as a generality, and it wasn't appropriate in those conversations. So
Mm.
people are a lot more aware. And I think it's because we have a larger queer community, and we also have a community that's gotten a lot more educated over the years of these things. Like
Yeah.
me, I grew up in a very restricted, my mother was a Mennonite, my dad indoctrinated me into independent fundamental Baptist kind of family where I knew racism was bad, but I didn't know certain words were actually racist until I was in college. I just didn't know.
Huh.
And then I didn't really understand, anything to do with, the queer community until I was probably in my later 20s. And then I didn't realize I was part of it until I was in my 30s. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of
Um,
been a development for a lot of the people that have been playing this game. Is we've grown, so some of that's changed because of that fact.
I would definitely agree, especially since, like, in the last 20 years, since even the time that I was in college, a lot of things have changed, and they have changed very dramatically and very swiftly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it can be hard to keep up, but also you gotta put in the footwork, my friend.
Yes.
So, no, I totally get you. Like, there's a lot of development that had to work on and be brought into. Like, everybody's had their 4chan years when they were laughing at, like, stupid, terrible, terrible things and had to make growth and realize, oh, that's actually not funny and
Yeah.
change.
Yep.
So, like, nobody was born perfect. Nobody's gonna die perfect. But, like, as long as you're willing to accept and change, then you're gonna be okay. That is the true essence of survival of the fittest.
The
Adaptation.
the fittiest. I like that fittiest. Sorry.
That was an accident, but I'm glad it landed. But yeah, as long as you can keep moving along and actually keep up, then you're gonna be fine. If you can grow and change, that's good too. But if you're gonna get real mad because you're embarrassed that somebody called you on one of your actions, you kinda need to take a step back and go like, "Hey, what is my anger trying to tell me?"
Yep. It's like we're not trying to be politically correct as people try to say and everything. It's just we're trying to be respectful. There's a difference between, throwing that terminology, that political correctness out and just trying to be generally respectful to another human being. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
You gotta
And, like,
understand that.
nobody's asking for perfection, we're just, like, hoping you can try. You're
Exactly.
not Nobody is expecting you to be perfect.
I mean, I might.
So, okay, you might, but maybe you're a little more high maintenance than I am, huh?
I mean, I might. I don't know.
Maybe,
Possibly.
maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, I'll just sit there and smile and go like, "Okay, that's probably not what you had in mind, bud."
Yeah.
'Cause I love to give the benefit of the doubt because 'cause I'm pretty sure nobody's actually trying to give me a hard time. And if somebody persists in busting my balls, then there's a problem. Oh, Wyatt has a question for you.
Oh, Wyatt has a question for me.
Yeah.
Are your red are your allies red and enemies green? What madness is this? No. Let's see. My allies, yes, they are red and my enemies are green. That is how I have always had my colors since I've been playing since Achaea. So, you can blame whoever taught me to color my configs because that is what they taught me and I have stuck to it.
Maybe it's because red is a more vibrant color.
That is probably why. Is a more vibrant color, and the green just stands out. Like I can tell the difference, and plus Christmas colors. It's
You have
backwards,
so many
please.
enemies. Why are you such a hater?
Do you want? I mean, I can't type. I have my full 50 enemies on my list. Some of these I probably
Damn.
could remove again. I keep having to shuffle. Like some of these stay on permanently, but some of these, like Valak, he's probably gone again. Makia might be
Oh,
gone
I'm
again.
listed as an enemy?
You are, unfortunately, just because you do come to combat, and I need my shaman and my other astral and all these other things. I need things to hit you if you come to combat. So I'm sorry, babe. I'm
I
sorry.
thought what we had was special.
It is, but you also like to hit me with shadowy things, so I can't help it.
Every Yeah, okay, I'm a big threat. I am the barista coming up and trying to bite you to death.
You're biting me. Yeah, you're biting me.
and
Ha
and
ha ha.
smacking you with my little fists.
Just I can see you just sitting here flailing your hands at me.
Oh yeah, yeah, some classic schoolyard shit.
That sounds about accurate. Anyway, Wyatt,
Yeah,
I ain't changing shit. I'm sorry. I'm so used to it at this point that if I changed any of my colors, it throws my brain off. I tried it. I did on another character, and for days I kept looking at things and just like, what is this? What did I do? Where is that? Just the entire time. So I really can't. I'm too old. I've been doing this for how long? We said 2001, so that's 21 years now.
I have no enemies, so I don't know what color they are.
I have 50 enemies and only 48 allies right now. I have less allies than enemies. I am a sad person.
I've got 14 allies. I've got so many friends and no enemies because nobody hates me but you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. This is part of the intertether business that we were
Ex-
talking about.
that we were talking about.
It's like we're enemies, winky face.
We're frenemies. That's what we are. We're frenemies. Okay. So we could get to we kind of talked about Intercity. I think a pretty decent bit. So we've kind of thrown in a little bit about the current events, but feel like we could go ahead and try to go back to that and talk through what's been going on. Is there anything going on in Spine's Reach right now of note? Besides, obviously, we had the wormy business before.
As a citizen, I cannot disclose everything. However, I can say that the wormies are done. But what we have now is a basilisk.
I saw like some sort of death or something to a basilisk. Hey, I've revealed like the fact that Dendara is dying. You can't tell me what's going on? Jeez.
No, I can't, but I can say that it's going to be sick as hell when it's done. And that is also because of like in-game politics that I can't get into it.
Okay.
Because somebody's going to be mad that I was even there.
Fine. We'll let it
Uh,
be.
I'll tell you later when it's done, I promise.
Okay, that makes me feel better then.
I will also allude to the fact that I suspect it has to do with like Shadow Shaman coming into being. Like, I think
Ooh.
it's tied into that.
Maybe.
There will probably be a sick ass news post, and I'll be like screaming and hooting and hollering like some prospector pointing at gold.
Are you
So,
gonna have do I need to teach you a southern accent so you can sound completely accurate about it?
I don't need no southern accent.
Wow, that was bad.
That was what?
That was bad.
Thank you. Oh,
Oh.
apparently I'm a great Yoda, but I'm a bad southern accent. I love how this is going for me. I'm having a wonderful night.
You're learning so much about yourself. Oh,
All I know is that I arrived with a whack ass accent with some weird Englishism in it, so it has like a natural ASMR vibe, which means that any attempt at other accents that I do is immediately marred by the fact that I can't even speak American well.
you speak American.
Well, I just tried, but then you told me I did a bad job.
I mean, I'm sorry. You just did. I can't help it. That was really bad on my
Don't
part.
don't worry about it. I appreciate the honesty and I respect that. Like, don't fluff my ego. I can do that myself.
That's very true. You're very good
Yeah.
at that.
Yes, I am. It's the wonderful thing of self-confidence, aka I'm gonna wring dopamine out of this if I will die doing it. Like,
As you sip on your gin over there, right?
oh, I already emptied that.
Nice, nice.
Well, it was mostly ginger ale. I was low on gin.
Oh, I've only got a little bit of my hurricane thing left. Lay sigh. But I drank two of those other drinks, so I should be okay. I should be fine.
Yeah, you should be. What? Okay,
What?
totally off topic. What's
Hmm?
your Starbucks order?
Oh, okay. So you need to know my ridiculous order that I do.
Yes.
Let's see. So I get
Yeah.
a venti caramel macchiato whole milk,
Okay.
2 pumps of
Okay.
vanilla, 5 pumps of dark caramel sauce, and they add whip. It is sugar upon sugar upon sugar.
Sounds delicious. I get a seasonal latte.
So, are you a pumpkin spice latte girl person? I was about to say girl, but I think you're non-binary, aren't you?
I am non-binary,
Yes,
which
there.
means I can be anything I want.
Exactly. I just don't want to say the wrong one because that is not appropriate of me. So,
Well, I wouldn't be too mad. I've got an adorable girly voice. But thank
you
you
do.
for remembering.
You are very welcome. But I do.
So yes, it's pumpkin spice, but it's also like toasted caramel, peppermint mocha,
Ah.
and if I'm not interested in the seasonal, it's gonna be like, "I'd like a mocha with a pump of raspberry, please."
Oh, my Lord.
I'm a very simple creature. Oh, and I do want whip. Of course I do.
Of course, gotta get the whip. My husband is the weirdo that doesn't get the whipped cream. And lately, his drink of choice is he's getting the chocolate cold brew with at least 2 pumps of mocha in there. And then no whip. I'm like, dude, the whipped cream's the best part.
Well, you know what? He's allowed to live his life and not understand Wayne's World and its glory and all of that. Like, the diversity of people is a beautiful thing.
I'm
Even
a,
if I cannot comprehend it, I'm sure it's like that for a reason.
I am allowed to judge him because we have been together for, again, the same amount of time that I've been in Aetolia, 21 years. So he might as well be like, you know, it sounds creepy, but like a sibling where I can just, crack shit at him all the time because we have known each other way too damn long.
Wow, it's almost like you have emotional intimacy or something. Wait,
No.
wait. Do you think he has a crush on you?
Oh gosh, does he?
Do you think?
Oh goodness. I'm so excited.
Oh my god, I'm totally gonna tell him on Snapchat.
No, no. Oh gosh. We are complete dorks.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
good.
of
It's good.
course.
It's a good thing.
Listen, let's take a moment out of context. We are talking to 5-ish people
Mm-hmm.
on a Twitch
Yeah.
stream about a mud game, which currently has like 70 people online. We're
Yeah.
dorks.
We're
That's
dorks.
fine.
That's fine.
So anyway, stuff going on in Spine's Reach. We have
Yes.
basilisks. It is exactly the same kind of circumstances that came from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
I was about to
And
ask.
yeah, everybody figured it out really quick, but because we didn't want to bring in the meta knowledge that we have about basilisks, everybody was kind of like shuffling around it because, we want to play the game right.
Right.
It's like, gosh, what could that be? I've never read a book in the real life.
In the real life.
Like, in the clan chat, we're like, hey, this is a basilisk, isn't it? It's like, yeah, okay, cool. Hee, woo, hee. And then we just let the story play out because it's important to be a good audience too.
It
So,
is.
um, I'm super duper pleased with the event that led to us finding the basilisk lair because I was asleep at the time. This was actually an event that took place at a time where people who are not in my time zone could actually interact. So, like, Holbrook, who it lives on the other side of the world from me, actually got to go ahead and do something when he was in his waking hours. And I think that's
Ooh.
super duper cool and really awesome because, like, I know that having events at peak times is important so that it's maximum exposure,
Yeah.
but I'm also really happy to see stuff that, people who aren't me get to involve themselves with and have a good time with. Like, it's great to see things happening at all hours of the globe.
Yes.
So, long story short, Holbrook now has a chicken on his head because, like, the rooster's cry will send away basilisks. And so every dawn, over the city shout, there's a calm rooster yelling cock-a-doodle-doo, which is great. Everybody complains about it, and I think that's very fun.
I was actually checking his appearance to see if it showed in his appearance, and I am disappointed. I wanted to see a chicken like in his list of items that he's wearing. I did want to see
Oh,
that.
well, he didn't put it on, it just landed on him, so it's not
Oh.
necessarily there. Also, if he's not logged in, then it doesn't land on his head.
Oh. Okay. Well then,
However, can we take a moment to observe how fine and handsome Mr. Holbrook is?
yes.
Delightful,
Delightful.
delicious.
Very, very nice and tall and lean. There you go.
I've always liked Holbrook since the moment I met him because I see a severe, uptight person and I think that they are the best. It's like, oh, you've never laughed in your life. Oh,
I'm gonna screw with your brain, kind of thing. Yeah.
oh no,
I will.
I'm not that kind of mean. It's just standing back here and going like, senpai.
Oh, you're that type. I'm the opposite type. I would totally be like, I'm going to make you regret being here in a
Well,
positive way. You're going to laugh. You're going to
okay.
smile.
So I'll play that with people that I know, but since I hadn't met him before and I wanted to make sure that I was like in the friendly zone before I could start being in the fucker zone, you know? It's like you gotta lay the foundation of being somebody's buddy before you can start just coming right in and slapping them around.
I do not subscribe to that mindset. I go fuck around with people regardless. And if they don't like me, well, then, just cross my arms across my chest and pout. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm too shy for that.
I
I I get upset if I accidentally upset people, so, like, this is 100% me, trying to keep myself in a place that I like, which, means that I don't go out and I'm playing a goody two-shoes, sure, but it's also, like, it keeps me from having an anxiety attack because somebody's yelling at me, so
This is true.
I'm looking out for myself here.
I understand and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have my moments where I need to go hide and not do it, but there's a majority of the time where I just I embrace my character sometimes being a little crazy. A little crazy. Can't be
Well,
astral if you're not a little, crazy.
yeah,
All right.
as it should be, but it's like, "Uh-oh, 2 of my friends are talking in this bar? I'd better leave them alone instead of interacting with my friends who I love."
Yeah.
I I have mental health problem, and I have some behaviors to unlearn, it's a process.
It really is. It takes time, it takes patience, but you will get there and you are a wonderful person, so I believe in you.
Aw, shit. Even if I'm your enemy.
Even
Me.
if you're my enemy. Nah. Got my
Oh,
yeah
you and I
thing going
got the
on.
same daily milestone.
Cool. Let's go. Toggle vermin. I'm gonna kill vermin while I'm sitting here. Why not? It's beautiful
Okay,
on my screen.
okay. I'm technically in the middle of a conversation, so
It's like I can still see my screen. It's fine. Wyatt can't get me because I can see my screen. Right, Wyatt? Right? He
if
might
Wyatt is
fast.
watching what I'm doing, he can tell that I am not doing anything interesting.
Oh. All right. Well, hey, any other interesting events going on in the Spine's Reach?
Um, so the only other interesting things going on are not necessarily citywide, but concerning characters. And I
Ooh.
would like to say that the development department is getting some very creative minds into its room descriptions. Like, There was a
Ooh.
character who was having a really bad time, and I was like, "Wait a minute, you're a really good painter, and you are understanding of history. Perfect. We need somebody like you to help us work over and, like, do things concerning our catacombs because we don't wanna demolish the history that is there. It's
Yeah.
important to preserve history, but we also wanna, like, get rid of this waist high water."
Yeah, that would be a good thing.
But none of us know enough about Ancrians to do it, and I hired on this new guy. I was like, "Here you go, buddy. Here's a sense of purpose so that you can get your feet underneath you and your head on right, and you can do some self-determination in a capacity that's comfortable for you." So, pro-social behaviors are winning once again, and I'm glad that I have a bunch of development aides who are really excited and enthusiastic and glad to be doing their jobs.
Good. That's what needs to be done.
Sure. I'm just wondering what'll happen when I run out of stuff for them to do. But, like, they're also pretty self-managing when it comes to going out and finding stuff to do, so it's all gravy. I'll figure out how to delegate appropriately, but I am happy that the squad is high and tight and everybody's got stuff that they're happy to be doing.
Nice.
And I think that, like, if you are running a ministry, that's ideal.
It is. Unfortunately, most of the ministries in Duran, we don't really have a ton of aid ships and a ton of opportunities there. It would be nice if we did, but we also don't have as many players that get interested in the ministries. We struggle to find ministers so bad. I literally just had Rayalo, the trade minister. He suddenly poofed. He's been gone for like, I don't even know how many days now, but last time I looked was 24 days. He's been gone with no word. I'm like, great. I know it's summer. He's probably taking a vacation, but I can't just ignore that. So I just, went ahead and grabbed someone from my guild. I'm like, hey, do you want to do this? It's really easy. Please just do it. Because I knew from the last time we did applications, we had to do the same exact thing. Even though
Yeah,
we've got
like
a decent amount of players lately, we also lost a bunch from people playing other games and from it being the summer season. So there's not really that many people to ask.
no, and I totally get it. Whenever we'd have to replace a minister, it was like, "Oh, fuck. Ah, geez."
Yeah.
But, I'm just super lucky that the people currently in my development department that I've recruited or have reached out to me are enthusiastic about it. So,
That's good.
if it ever came down to, like, we had an opening and I'd need to pivot out in order to fill out the ministry, I know exactly who I would leave it to, and it would be in good hands. Like, I know this is not a common situation where people in the same department are all like, "Yeah!" But I'm really glad I'm here, and I'm glad that I can help cultivate that kind of thing because opportunity sets up, and I will very much yes and the entire way through.
Nice. I didn't know what else to say.
That's fair. I was rambling.
It's okay. We both ramble. I think that's what makes us great conversationalists together.
Well, I do enjoy this. I hope everybody else does.
Actually,
People in the chat, you good? You
yeah,
enjoying this?
about to say, you guys hanging in there. We're having fun. We're enjoying ourselves. We hope you are too. You can, always ask questions, poke fun at us. It's okay. Socialize. But it's okay. They can listen to us and it'll be
Yeah,
fun.
it's nice to have you. It's still interactive, so if you got stuff you want to say, please say so. Feel free to interrupt and also tell me if I'm like out of pocket or something like that. That's fine.
Otherwise, we're just going to keep on rambling until we're tired of rambling, which it may
So true.
take a while. Okay,
Maybe.
maybe. Okay. Can I move into Duran stuff then?
Please, please, by all means. I
Okay.
promise not to make any sneaky reports about it.
Ah, thank goodness.
I promise. I pinky swear.
Yay, virtual pinky swear. Ta-da. I'm doing it at my camera and I don't have my camera on. That is a force of habit from working from home all day. Oh gosh. Okay. Anyway, so Duran stuff. What's been going on? So yes, there's the player-driven thing that you mentioned earlier with Dendara. You know, Hearn came to the shamans. Well, I don't even know if he went to the shamans and more went to his people. I'm still not very clear on that. And said, yeah, so it's dying. You know, we should start figuring out what we're going to do. And we finally got the information. And Duran and everyone, you know, we had a nice little meeting in game and talked it out, and you know, brainstormed a bunch of ideas. Which most of them, I am actually not going to spoil that part because you know, there's some very wild ones out there, some very interesting ones, which I'm looking forward to. But obviously, this brought up going to Spine's Reach and trying to talk to them and have them brainstorm. So brought about a little bit of extra role play from me, hoping we can pull some more out of it for sure. Because while Duran and Spine's Reach are very similar in a way because of their mindsets and you know their higher purposes compared to
Mhm.
the other orgs, I feel like you guys are big on protecting against shadow, which yeah, devours. That's a pretty important thing to protect the world from. And then we've got the life plane. Those are pretty serious things. So we should realistically be trying to work together, even though we hate each other so badly. Like,
Oh, so badly.
I mean, Duran at least hates Spine's Reach. Really, a lot of the people hate them really badly, mostly because the Sciomancers keep pulling Shadow into the plane, which basically is pulling it, you know, essentially like through Duran into Dendara as well, in a sense. Like, if there's too much Shadow on PMP, it's causing issues in Dendara because Duran and Dendara are linked. So anything happening around Duran, it'll trickle into Dendara. So fun times, right? Getting it from both ends.
I see.
Which is part of why you can't use Shadow inside the castle, but that's the whole thing. Anyway, I'm rambling. I am definitely rambling.
I don't know. I'm actually learning things, which is great because, like, trying to find lore is sometimes rather a chore.
Oh gosh, I know this is it's I had to give Inkne a whole lesson on everything. Like that's the way I approached it to begin with. I said, "Look, what do you know about the spiral? You know, what do you know about like how the planes are arranged? Do you know all of this stuff?" And I actually, because I didn't know either, I learned it through people teaching my character in game about it, like Illical and some of the others. You know, and Sid showed me the cosmetology help file. In case you haven't seen it, really good to read it because helps give you some context as to like where the planes align and stuff. And good to know the spiral's broken and all that fun stuff, and just kind of know all this lovely planar lore. But yeah, I had to give him a whole lesson just to make sure he understood. This is why we don't like you guys, and this is what's going on and why it's bad. It's coming in from both, not just the one, from both. Please.
Oh,
Um,
and by the way, his name is just pronounced Ink.
It's just ink. Okay, I'm used to pronouncing the other one, so I keep pronouncing it the old way. So that's my bad.
Yeah, no, it's just Ink
Just
with a little
ink,
extra H, like ink.
ink, ink.
Yeah. If he were from our world, he'd be German.
Okay, okay. I could see that. I can see that. I got it. I will remember that. Shoot. Awkward transition back to what I was thinking about because my
Yeah,
brain.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep going.
Okay, so we got that going on. Other things going on, and this is a mix of two things that are going on. This is partially a Durrani thing and partially an Honorian thing. I said that very poshly. I was like partially. That was very bad. But it's like a mix. Essentially, some of it, it felt like Honorian was kind of getting their own thing. Sid kind of, you know, snuck in there and listened to it and was kind of feeling like it was supposed to be only Honorian. And then we ended up getting our own thing out of it. So I don't know if it was originally intentional or not. But essentially, there are the Iron Tusk people that are in Illhaven, I think it is, or that's what I've heard so far. Who have they've been around, like the Sentinels apparently helped them, so there's some background there. They were going to go to Honorian to seek like additional help for supplies for war and things like that. I think they actually like Enorian interrupted them as they were going to go attack El Jazeera or something. I'm not sure all the context there because I'm not
Mhm.
part of Enorian. Um, anyway, so there's the Iron Tusk group over there doing their thing, trying to, you know, fight the good fight, go get help from Enorian potentially, yada yada. Well, we end up finding, talking to one of the lumberjacks. Oh, this is where I'm getting everything screwed up. Everything's really in like a weird series of events. Um, so way back when, there's Leonce. Have you seen him doing shouts before in the game?
No, no, I haven't.
Okay. Well, he is a vampire. He is Techta's childer, like he embraced by Techta. Um, and he had been doing raids with a bunch of other vampires a ways back. In Pash and some of the territories near Enorian, doing a blood hunt essentially, but wasn't like promoted by the Dominion. Was a separate thing, a bunch of rogues. So that happened, and that's been a very long time back. So recently, it ended up happening in the Isthmias, and Enorian and Duran went and killed all the vampires that were running around in the forest, and came
Cool.
upon a lumberjack or a group of lumberjacks.
Okay, two things.
Yes.
One, I remember that bitch. He killed me in the river. What a son of a bitch. Number two, Aliyah wants to hop into the chat.
Oh, okay. She just okay. I think I've got to invite her. Or let's see. Can I invite
Them.
to? Oh, you did it.
Oh, no,
I
I
got
was
it.
saying that Aliyah is a they them.
A they them. Okay, that's your partner.
That be partner.
Okay, I just sent her. Or sorry, they them. I sent them an
Hmm.
invite. There we go. I got it. So they should get that here and join us, and then I can go ahead and invite them in whenever they join, though. Maybe. Maybe. There they are. Oh, you want to? Hey, they could actually. Oh, they can't use the audio though.
Oh,
I don't. Yeah, I can fix that. Doop doop
oh,
doop.
okay.
Let's see. Where is my role? Stream guest. Okay, you should be able to unmute now. Maybe. Oh,
There we go.
there we go. It just had you
Oh,
muted for
hello.
some reason. Hi.
Hi, Dane.
Hi.
Welcome to
So
our.
my name is Dane. I am going to change my name in the Accords thingy so that I look correct. I play Aliyah and several other people.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
So you got a plethora of people then.
I think I have like 12.
What?
Jeez.
I like experiencing new things in the game.
Hmm.
So whenever something shiny and new happens, I tend to join it.
You know what? I feel that. I really do.
Fair.
It's very fair. Okay. Well, welcome to the crazy town. I was rambling about trying to explain what's been going on in Duran. So I'm gonna try to do my best to continue. And if you
Oh,
get
I have been
confused,
pronouncing that very wrong.
well, most of us try to pronounce it like the fruit, like the
I've been
Duran
calling you
fruit.
guys Duirin my entire life.
I will tell you, there are plenty enough people that do say it that way as well. So you are fine. I know specifically Zehea. I'm pretty sure her player pronounces it the exact same way, but she is also Australian, so it's part of just how she says things too.
Yeah, I've got a lot of Irish family, and so UI is a sound that I pronounce a very specific way, and it happens to be that one.
That makes sense. That makes much more sense. So yeah, perfectly fine way to say it. This is just how we silly, I can't even say Americans, but when if you're talking
Oh,
about
I
you
live in
being
New York.
Well,
I live in New
I'm
York.
saying more because you have like the Irish thing going on there. Like the people that speak, are only around primarily American English. People they end up saying it like the fruit. That's just end up.
Yeah, I'm just basing it off my cousins. I have lived in New York my entire life. But there are some specific what is the word I'm looking for? Specific ways of pronouncing English that I have absolutely picked up from them. Um like Wheeliebins, where I put an H before WH. So what Wheeliebins? Um Not often, but if I've spoken to them recently, I sound like them.
Nerd.
I know. Leave me alone.
leave leave them alone. Be nice about it.
Absolutely not. Never.
They don't have to be. They are legally obligated to give me a hard time. We're dating.
Yep, it's my job.
Eh, yeah, I mean, I was just saying the same thing about my husband upstairs. So yeah, I can't say a thing at all right now about it.
Yeah, it's okay. They give me just as much shit and usually a lot nicer.
That's because I'm a marshmallow.
That is true. I'm a marshmallow
With whiskey injected into it.
yes.
That sounds weirdly delicious, and I don't even like whiskey. Maybe I needed to just be rum instead. Yeah, I need rum. I need to do rum instead.
That would
There are
be
a
fun.
lot.
I love rum.
There's an entire boozy chocolate shop near my house.
Ugh.
So they sell chocolate injected with all sorts of potable things.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Could you guys hear my like Homer Simpson brrr, that noise? I did
Yes.
that so perfectly, man. I
I'm
have
so proud of you.
I am so proud of myself. That
I
was
need to
perfect.
move the gray accords into the Aetolia group in Discord.
Oh, you actually have folders for that. Very
I
fancy.
have I
I
have
do.
57 servers. If I don't, I will die.
Yeah,
I have full. Yeah.
this is me here. That's all I have. This is Maz's system channel. This is Zen. That's the MSGA. That's Rhyme. That's all I have now. Is that?
I have a ton of Patreon stuff, so
Ah,
Patreon. I don't know how you pronounce that either.
Patreon.
Patreon.
Yay!
You did good. You did good. You did good.
I did good. I should make my icon into Allie.
Yes,
Yeah.
you should. So,
So
keep
anyway,
keep talking about cool stuff going on in Dwirin.
to rerun.
Dweer,
Okay.
Dweerin.
So let's see.
Durian.
I left off with random ass vampires in the woods. We killed them. Anorian and Duran. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it the other way. I can't do it. My
Don't
tongue
D-
won't
worry
do
take
about
it
it.
however you do it. I am following what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So killed the vampires. Blah 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 blah. And we come upon some lumberjacks. Lumberjacks are pretty common in the Ithmias, like that, basically down in like Western Ithmia. They've been there for
Hmm.
fucking forever, and
Eat
I
them.
include in this discussion always assumed they were part of like Dolbodi because Dolbodi has lumberjacks in the area. It was revamped at one point, and the help file was never updated. So we're actually on good terms with Dolbodi. They redid all of their stuff to be very Hearn themed and very much, Duran themed. So they have rangers and all this other stuff. But it just never got updated on the help file.
You should submit a help edit.
I plan on it, honestly. I really will be doing that soon because I was looking at it the other day. I'm like, this looks really bad when we're trying to say they're our allies. And it sounds like we hate them from the file. Because it's super old. Like it's probably old Hearn, cake Hearn, as we call him in the old B days. Pretty sure it's from his time. Um, anyway, so we've end up coming upon these lumberjacks. One of them end up finding out his name is Chip, and he is Rihrin's love interest right now.
Oh,
That's kind of a joke, but halfway not.
girl, dish.
They totally were like flirting a little bit. It was funny. It was
Listen, flirt
adorable.
with NPCs. It's so much fun.
It really
Exactly.
is
It
fun.
really is fun. It's hilarious. But we end up finding
It's
out.
like, hey, baby, you're probably gonna die in the next event. What's good?
Yeah, it's like, what's good, baby? You gonna die. Anyway, so we're talking to him, and he's, just kind of chill. Like, oh, by the way, we saw this lanky ass, like, big ass wolf wandering, but it's cool. It's cool. We don't know where it went. It
Puppy?
kind of scared us.
Puppy.
Puppy, exactly. And apparently leading other wolves. So we still haven't
Okay.
seen what's going to come from that yet. The wolf has not shown back up, but it's been in our gossip. So there's that. Um, and
Gossip is the best thing in the world.
And then, yeah, gossip is fantastic. Then we ended up finding out that the warden that leads them had disappeared to a port, like a trade city, and hadn't been seen for a while. So we're afraid maybe he's gotten eaten by the wolf or something. He might be dead. So we do our best. We're trying to figure out where he is, and eventually, I'm like out somewhere else. But eventually, earlier this week, we have them show up at our gates, the warden and Chip. And Chip brings me a bundle of flowers, so it made me so happy.
Oh.
It was so cute.
Oh.
I was like, oh. And then I don't have the item anymore, so I'm pretty sure it fell out of my inventory, and I am so damn upset
Oh,
about
no.
it. I wanted to keep it,
Oh
but
no.
anyway.
So the
Um,
Sisson have the Sisson. I don't know how you pronounce that, but the Sisson have a pet NPC too. Her name is Abigail, and she is my baby. Or
oh,
I suppose technically she's Ink's baby. He actually adopted her, and she calls him Dad,
oh.
which is
Oh,
stupidly cute.
it really is, especially since, like, Ink as a character, like, having known this character for as long as I have, as long as his genesis, well, no, he existed way before I met him, but, like, knowing what I know about Ink, this is not supposed to happen, and it's completely off the script, and he's doing a great job.
It is.
That we have a bunch of NPCs in both Anorian and Duran that are like to that theme. Like the Centauri have Zunk, which is apparently basically adopted by Rihrin at this point. It's a little ogre boy, I think it is. So
Mhm.
totally get that. You always have your pet NPC. So
Well,
Chips,
they're wonderful. They're
they're,
so fun.
they're so fun. So Chip's the newest one of a sort. They show up at the gates, and basically we find out the Iron Tusk hired them to destroy a quarter of the Western Isthmias
Mm-mm.
to like
Mm-mm.
make a road all the way up to North Road. Like they wanted to clear everything to make, weapons and to make a new encampment and all this other stuff. And it's
Very rude.
very rude. Didn't even bring it up to Duran, didn't care, doing all that lovely stuff. So we're like, well, guys, we're going to have to be frank with you. And if you don't, we're going to kill you. And we're going to kill you a lot. Every time you come back, we're going to kill you again. And you're really going to regret this decision if you don't leave our woods. Just saying. Just saying. And the warden was very greedy about it. Like he was basically going to charge us double gold to buy out of the contract because I tried to be diplomatic. Tried to be. Didn't work.
Mhm.
Um, and then I had to go with the hard ass decision instead. But he was just being very greedy. Even when we were like, hey, we're just gonna kill you. Hey, how about we also go kill your people? We'll go to Djibouti because that's where we assumed they were from, and just start murdering people. That whole meme about and I pulled my guns out. That guy, Danny DeVito. And
Anyway, I started blessed.
anyway, I started blasting. That's Sid. I'm gonna get to that. That is Sid. Um,
I'm not surprised.
No one's surprised. No one. But, this is early morning. I'm trying to work and we're doing all this stuff. Anyway, so he still was like, nope, we don't care. We want our money and that's more important. But we'll go relay it to the higher above. And we're like, okay, whatever. And then this is the funny part. Ellorin, who is basically a non-PvPer, just, doing his best game, doing his own thing, walks through, has a system on for bashing, and kills Chip.
Oh,
No!
your man!
My man!
Your boyfriend!
Oh my gosh, the other NPC is screaming. And Jura and I, because Jura was actually standing there with me, are trying to keep our shit together because it's both frustrating and hilarious at the same fucking time. I was like, God, can't the admin just ignore what is obviously an accidental kill? No, of course not. So we pretend to revive him and everything. We get him back up. Chip is still alive. He's good. But it basically sent the message for us that we'll kill you.
I mean, that'd do it.
That'll do it. So afterwards, I go ahead and I'm trying to like multitask, dealing with work being shitty and trying to like take a moment so I can make my post to update everyone on what's going on. And Sid's like, nah, man, I ain't compromising. I am not going to wait because I was telling, let's wait, give them at least a week to let them think about it before we start murdering them. And yes, it's just like, nah, I ain't waiting. And he just started murdering them. So he ends up murdering the warden too in the process. And Chip gets away. Chip did get away. So he's alive. But yes, it just started killing people.
Love wins.
What was that?
I said love wins.
Yes,
Love does
wins.
win.
And push comes to shove, honestly. We went out there, we tried to like reason with the lumberjacks a little bit more, and then they started attacking on their own in bigger troops. They actually made troop NPCs, kind of like the slave groups down in El Jazeera and Vilmo. They made those kinds.
Mm-hmm.
So we just started killing. Yeah, we started blasting. All of us started blasting. And while we're doing our rounds, that's where the whole emphasized thing happened because Ilakal was saying, I'm going to go to your village wherever I find it. I'm going to kill your family, etc., etc. And Lenorial was in the area. So, shouting match, lovely, fun times.
I
Of course.
honestly, I don't have shouts off anymore, but I've made it a color that's very easy to ignore. So unless you've consumed my entire screen, I no longer actually notice shouts.
That's true. Yeah, it started off as yells in the area because that's how he was doing it. He was trying not to shout. He was just yelling in the zone because the NPCs were in the area and they had been yelling too. And then she took it to shouts to say, hey guys, the red are all about emphasized, let you all know. And we're all like, so what, this is new news? And everyone shut up after that because, everybody already realizes, that's just,
Yeah.
it's kind of common
Everybody
thing.
knew that.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that.
Everybody knew that. Not new news. Anyway, lumberjacks have basically disappeared, so we don't know what's going to happen next. Some of them went back to Dobodi. We're assuming they're from other villages as well because we found out, that's the other thing we found out, is that Teresa's people were actually the people that were those lumberjacks. It was just they hire a bunch of people from random villages and pay them to do the work. So there's just a group of random ass people from various places. No idea where they're from. Besides, we knew a few were from Dobodi. So yeah, that's the craziness that's been going on with that. While we're also trying to do the self roleplay of the whole Dendara thing. So fun times.
I am looking forward to getting tangled in that, but unfortunately, I am not a magic person. Aliyah is actually famously, I refuse to take any magic-based classes. So she has Revenant, which is the closest to mage that she has, and Sisson and Werewolf and Wayfarer, and that's it.
Yeah.
I hit stuff.
You and I are opposite tethers. Like, not in like the literal sense as far as the game, but I prefer classes that don't use venoms. So I primarily play most of the magic-y classes.
I don't fight, so I don't care.
that is valid. That is valid.
I have the artifact fangs, so I hurt real bigly, and I go and I bite shit in the volcano.
Nom nom nom.
Maybe
Allie
I should get those.
Allie actually has a bunch of scars around her mouth and jaw because she fights things by biting them. She's a werewolf and a Sisson.
That makes sense.
And she's actually one of the old Atabahi.
Oh.
So she is very, very proud of being a wolf. And if you are having trouble with weird wolves, feel free to poke her.
Not to make a conspiracy on Maine, but if you ask Pietre if he knows any wolves, he'll be able to help out with that.
Yes.
Well, frankly, if it comes down to it, Rin's probably going to end up leaning on Rooks or Rue, whichever. Sorry.
Yeah, I remember Rue.
Yeah,
Rue was also Atabahi.
Okay. Yeah, Rue was in the Atabahi. Rin's very aware of that because they used to be in a pack together, and there's like some background lore there and everything. So
Oh yeah,
probably would end up going
we
that
were
way.
in the same guild.
Exactly. If not that, it probably would end up being Tiani because they've had some brief interactions when they've been and she knows she's a
You
shifter and
make
stuff.
delicious pies.
It's
Dude,
true.
the Rin does have
Aliyah
some
brought
delicious
Pietre
pies.
one of Riri's pies.
Oh gosh, there's so many
Yeah.
pies. I had a
Fitted
frenzy.
one for me. I'm like, okay, I need to share. It's important that I share.
Pie
Finn,
good.
Finn, and some other person. I cannot think of who it is right this second. Narala were absolutely obsessed with just like buying a bunch of pies one day and like handing them out. And I'm just like, guys, you gotta chill on the sugar. You're gonna give yourselves heart attacks and
Okay, but what if you hosted a pie eating contest?
Oh my god.
I actually this is a I love how we go to like the most random ass topics. So
You're welcome.
I am working, and this is me telling something that most people probably don't give a shit about. But I am being a total weirdo and making this huge ass house for my
Uh-huh.
character. It's just
Uh-huh.
elaborate shit, crazy amount of shit in there. I
I mean,
plan to
that's
have
the
a
point of having a house,
E-
isn't it?
Exactly. It is the point of having the house is to have a big ass house. So plan is to have a big ass party that when I get it all finished. And yes, there is going to have to be a pie eating contest. I originally planned to just have a ball, but now that you're talking about this, I have absolutely got to have a pie eating contest.
It's important to me. I don't really care what it means to you. It's important to me.
Nice. Wow.
Okay, Wyatt.
Also, Wyatt is calling you the hell out.
And no, that's fine that he's calling me out, but this is me as my character. My character doesn't end up eating most of the things she makes, so I can absolutely say this and
Oh,
drink
hi,
my
Wyatt.
drink my Starbucks here with no guilt whatsoever. So, booyah, kiss my booty.
Well,
Hi, Wyatt.
here's a question that I have actually.
Mm?
Like, so not to get too much into Pietro's backstory, but
I know the backstory.
a lot of his family, they died and they didn't come back. So he has come to realize that he is a not blind spot from a family of blind spots. So he really had to come to terms the other direction with grappling with the fact that he just keeps coming back. He thought
I'm,
people didn't come back.
oh,
So his sense
honey.
of threat is kind of thrown off for the fact that he can just walk home after getting murdered. And I'm wondering, from that point of view, why people don't go absolutely ape shit more often. That's like,
Oh.
you gotta chill on the sugar? No, you don't.
No,
No, no, you
really,
don't.
you really don't.
What's stopping you? Just go crazy. Just
That's
go absolutely buck
Well,
wild.
that is what Rin
that is
normally does, honestly.
that is assuming that diseases and things, not afflictions, but actual chronic conditions that you incur don't go away. Do go away when you die. If they don't, that's a good reason not to go buck wild on the sugar.
You expect my man to know what diabetes is?
Diabetes.
That's that
Yeah.
is fair. Um, I feel like Allie would know.
Okay, but we're living in a fantasy land. Do we have to have that?
No, we don't
No,
have to have it. And
Actually, hold on.
what?
We don't have to have things like that, but if somebody wants to bring them in, they are valid.
indeed, that is probably why Ink is playing a doctor in the first place. So that
Yeah, yeah, good point. Good point.
there's an
Because,
out.
like,
It's just don't tell me my character's gonna have diabetes because I'm just gonna laugh and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong.
I I get to decide whether he has diabetes.
Exactly. I get to decide
In
if my character possibly might die on a random roll or not. Yeah.
Yeah,
Allie has the opposite problem where she wants meat all of the time. So
Mm,
she's just gonna have congestive heart failure instead.
that is essentially before Ren ended up becoming astral. That was her. It was bacon all day, every day. Like I picked up this like style of role play for my character. Honestly, from Xane, who used to play, he was a
I
relationship.
know
One of my,
Xane.
yeah, he the relationship that I had with him before. Just one of his characters just ate bacon, like had pocket bacon at all times, and that's pretty much a very big thing that I ended up working into her because I liked it and I thought it was hilarious. So yeah, she used to have pocket bacon all over the place. Now, not so much.
Completely valid.
Speaking as somebody
Allie
with a
just
Lara bar in my purse at all times in case I start getting hangry and mean, I feel it. Pocket bacon. All
Yeah,
right.
I used to keep
Sometimes you need a little protein.
I used to keep trail mix in my purse for that exact same reason. Got to have a little bit of sugar and then my peanuts and my raisins.
Allie, meanwhile, has I gave her the shapeshifter's jaw,
Hmm.
so she wants to eat various people's pets' rabbits, but knows that this is rude. So every so often, she will just go and hunt down a bunch of rabbits to eat.
Nice, very
It's
nice.
like, okay, I want you have an incredibly fat, lethargic, easy to catch and kill bunny rabbit that I can't eat. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
You know what? That makes me think. Do I have it? I do. Yeah, I have shark teeth. I could technically eat bodies because I keep making a threat and I keep thinking I'm going to make Rin a little bit more cannibalistic because of the whole thing that she had to eat the person she,
Hmm.
took over for. So I might end up having to work that in. That would be pretty fun.
Yeah,
Watch out,
Allie is
everybody. Durin people eat people too.
Allie is a 120-year-old werewolf and follows ten as alphas. She eats people if they annoy her.
Nothing wrong with it. Meat is meat. That is a good philosophy to go by.
Yep. I mean, it's
Just
better
not in
than
real
wasting
life.
it. What else is she gonna do? Leave it to rot? That's rude.
Exactly. That's rude. Just go stick it. There's actually a spit. You probably and Duran, you probably could put it on there and cook it. I can't remember if it does normal bodies or not anymore. I know it does
Oh my.
any corpse, just like there's one up in Three Widows. And who
Yeah,
Bride?
there is one of
Yeah,
those,
Three
but
Widows. Three Widows takes adventurer corpses. I have tested this for unknown
It
reasons.
it does. Sweet. Then the one in
oh,
Duran probably does too. I just haven't used it for before. Yeah.
okay, I'm hearing the words field trip to see what we can set on fire.
There's actually a specific worm warp just outside of Spine's Reach that brings you directly to the spit because we're an ally with them.
Well, for
Ink
Three
knows
Widows.
where it
No, I'm
is.
talking about I want to go to Drian with, I don't know, a tundral hair and say, "Excuse me, I'd like to cook this here," and get all the looks.
You
I mean,
know,
valid.
Like, what's wrong with you, boy? You got
I
stoves at
Valid.
home.
that would be a valid look. Is like why you cooking in our spit? You got your own spit. Just why you got to be doing this? We understand the eating of the meat, but you don't need to use our stuff. Go away. That would be about it.
Oh, like people are gonna shove him out for that. Okay,
That's fair.
some people might. Some
Yeah,
people might.
yeah. Uh,
But generally, one dude bumbling around with a hair, cooking it on a spit, going like, haha, technology works everywhere, and leaving.
Yeah, Jensen was the original cannibal. Fun fact, because I am old enough to remember this nonsense.
Old.
Jensen is the person who taught Ink most things about how he deals with people in interrogations.
nice.
He is even before he was chair, he was the official interrogator of Spine's Reach. He has been part of the security ministry for the past like 70 in-game years. If we need to interrogate and or torture someone, we poke Ink. He is the official person for this.
That's my mentor.
It is. It is a little bit worrying knowing what I know of Pietre, but that's fine.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna like be the Homer Simpson meme here and just fade into the bushes and
That's
call it a day.
fine. Yeah, no, we have official positions for everything in Spine's Reach. I mean, we have a prison.
You know, Duran needs a prison.
You
I
do
mean,
need a prison.
we mostly just kill
It's
people, and that makes more sense for us because the wilds they're brutal. That's what what happens. But
sometimes living is worse.
That is what I'm thinking. That is what I'm
You
thinking.
should put it beneath the roots. You should make a cage out of a tangled bunch of roots under the great oak,
That would be nice. That could work.
Yeah, that
and
would
then
look
just
sick as hell.
let the tree eat them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the only problem is that we would not be able to store anyone's shadow down there at all ever because then it's just feeding into them.
Well, oh, okay, so you've seen Hook, right?
Which like
You're
Hook?
getting a
Uh,
tell.
Hook with Robin Williams and
Yes,
Dustin Hoffman. You
yes.
remember the Boo Box?
Vaguely. It's been so long
Okay.
since I've seen that.
Okay, so the Boo Box is where the one pirate got sent for speaking out against Hook. So I think that having a tree root Boo Box for bad Duriani to be absorbed back into Dendara and learn their lesson would be great.
And then you could have roots that are like shaped like people. Because
Yeah!
trees do that, where they will grow into the shape of a corpse if you bury it under a tree.
Yeah! Oh, we could really turn up the dark horror.
Yeah, you should have a root cage filled with horrified root images of people that were died there and were eaten by the tree.
Yeah!
But I still couldn't use shadow people for it.
You just said that Dendara would say, "No, I don't want to eat that."
Well, we already have a shadow problem, so yeah,
We're
Okay,
working
so
on
maybe
it.
Dendara would eat us, huh? Picky,
maybe
picky, picky.
it would probably
We're
eat you
working
guys.
on it.
Okay,
Well,
so why don't you just like ask for a Spirian volunteer because we are rowdy little children and
listen,
huck us in.
you will get volunteers.
Oh
You
yeah, we
already
love fun.
have volunteers.
Yeah,
We're dumb. We love to jump in and find out.
So
Fuck around
some
and
of
find out is our unofficial motto.
so I
It's like,
couldn't tell you this.
hey, Spirians, does anybody want to see what it's like in Dendara? It's like, ooh, 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 me. You might
So
die. That's fine.
I couldn't tell you this in character when you came and saw us when I was talking to Finid, because I don't know it in character, but I can tell you out of character. Um, some of the things that Spines Reach has been considering for getting rid of your shadow problem is like, we could just make a mortal sacrifice, toss
that
them in there so they absorb all of the shadow, and then banish them permanently to Sajeda so that they never come back.
you know what? What did I say? What did
You
I
are
say?
you were right.
I
Okay,
was
okay.
right.
But it's different when somebody else is planning it than when it's someone in our city going like, "Hey, you know what would be fucking wild?"
Oh
Like,
no, like 4 people volunteered to do that, including
of
Ardent.
course we fucking did. God, I love this city.
Including Ardent. He's like, you know what? I'll do it. I don't care. Let's do this.
Yeah.
It'll work. And I'm like,
Well,
showing me that conversation.
like
The
that
level
was
of rowdy bastard that lives in Spines Reach is phenomenal. I'm so proud.
like the conversation we had earlier before you got on was basically Rin's been had like a plan to do that, like just be like, okay, I'll bring you in, and then I'm just gonna leave you here and not tell you until after you start doing the siphoning. But then the theory is they might kind of blow up, and then the shadow might be worse if they blow up. So it might not be a good plan.
And I
Yeah,
was
no,
like, no, that's rude. You can't just do that.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, no,
who cares?
we were like, we'll absorb it, and then we'll take it back to Prime, and one of the Gilded Sisson can banish it forever, and it won't be
true.
your problem anymore. Plus, then they'll be on Shadow. They can find the leaks and patch them, and then
Yeah.
die there forever.
It's like,
Yep.
this is.
Is this not what I said? Somebody who wants a glorious death would be able to have a very glorious exit.
They would have a very glorious exit. I will
We
say
should do that with the hardcore. That would be
Oh, yeah.
fun.
the
Oh,
problem
shit.
the problem with the patching thing is that the spiral's broken, so you can't really patch the whole thing that's broken. It's gonna keep leaking. You can't really close the dam.
No, you
Listen,
can't
if we
close the
get some
deal.
Flex Seal as advertised by Billy Mays,
It's not so much that we think we can fix the entire thing. It's that, if someone is there physically and permanently to deal with it, maybe we can at least slow it down so it is less frequently a problem. Or set up a permanent siphon so that even though it's leaking, it will go somewhere else and then back into shadow like a loop.
I
We're gonna
can't
set
right
up
now.
plumbing.
I'm
We're gonna set
sorry.
up plumbing for you.
The whole Willie Mays thing. I started picturing the video, the commercial, where he just smacks it onto the thing, and I can't stop laughing now. I'm so sorry.
No, that was the point.
Oh God.
That was the intent. You are doing as intended.
I keep moving my mic from my face just so that I'm not laughing in your ears, but okay, I need to breathe.
Imagine someone doing that to Sujetta. I gotta stop picturing that. I just see Pietre come in or one of the other just smack, put it right on there, big old seal, and just like, I solved your problem.
All done.
We just need a little duct tape. That's what we need. Oh. How long will it hold? We don't know, but it's duct tape. It's bound to hold for a while, right?
Listen, you just put on another layer. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, just keep adding it until there's like a lump on the side of Dendara. Like a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's duct tape.
Oh, gosh, golly. You guys okay over there?
Yeah, whenever I laugh too much, I start coughing.
I am sorry that I missed your message inviting me to talk about my guild. I was having some tooth problems. They'll be fixed soon.
Oh no, it's all
Yeah,
good.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it soon. It'll be all fine and peachy. Oh.
If you do it in August, I will be post-surgical at that point.
Yay! We will do it in August, and we'll probably do it before I end up having Ikti on here. I think I'm having him in August too. I can't remember.
Cool.
I want to talk to Ikti. He's Welsh.
He is. Is he? Is he Welsh? Yes, he is.
He is Welsh.
He is Welsh.
I know this because one of my best friends is Welsh. So when he said that, I got incredibly excited.
Yeah.
It's true, they did.
Yeah, he wants to come on for his basically as close to the 1 year as possible, so that we can just have a Q&A. I'm just, just waiting to do it, and I am definitely excited. I'm like trying not to do the whole, can I start asking people for questions just because I'm a total nerd?
Well, I think it's fair to start collecting questions early because putting people at short notice
is rude.
Can get pretty dicey.
Yeah, but it's
Also-
only June. It's only June.
Okay, well, start in the beginning of July and give people time to ponder and then ask them on a weekly basis and jab them in the side with a pickle fork.
That sounds like a good
I
plan.
will wield the fork if you need me to.
Oh, fork wielder. I rely on your fork wieldingness. I still sound like I'm drunk. I am.
It's fine.
Wow.
I am going to be
Look who's having fun. Ooh.
I am going to be so obnoxious to all of the people in Tenazalthus's congregation.
Why?
So they are because I was just made in charge of being the person that gets them to get out of the congregation and into the order because they haven't been doing much because she was dormant. So they're not going to like me very much as I poke them on a daily basis. Hey, what have you done? Do things.
Nothing wrong with that. Just go nag at people. That's what I do. I like to nag people.
That is my job both in the guild and in the order now, which is great. It won't be my job in the guild for much longer, though. I am moving on to other things. Spoilers. I'm not leaving the guild. I'm just getting a new job.
Well, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
No, not a bad thing. With my health as it's been, I am not doing the best at being a shiny, happy face that greets everyone. So I am going to pull back into a role that requires less face time and is much more administrative.
I understand. I do. I've had I've had a few people that have done that in the past. And it's like you got to put your health first before the game. So it just makes
Mhm.
sense. It just makes sense.
And I've known Ink forever, so he's like, yeah, just pick who you want to replace you.
Here's what I'm gonna say, and let just it's a hot take, so hear me out first. Hear me out.
Okay.
But you could side hop and join the Centauri because we're a really super tiny guild and we're very quiet, and you could retire there because we're basically a bunch of old people, except for my character, but I am essentially an old person.
I appreciate the offer. However, I already have a Centauri, so I'm not bringing Allie there.
Oh man, of course you've got a Centauri. Why would you not? Because we're so entertaining when we try.
They were a shaman and no one talked to them, so I moved them to the Centauri.
That that I could see. Oh my god, I see your meme.
What is my meme doing now?
Oh, Pietre posted a meme of the Spyrians and Dendara
Oh,
with a
yes.
flex tape. You
What
need to make
is
sure to
so-
post that into the
Please put it in the
main
main.
meme.
The main.
Yeah.
I sure can.
Yes, please. That is beautiful. For anyone that hasn't seen it yet, I'm gonna bring this over. This is our wonderful meme here, and it's exactly what I was seeing in my head.
Yep.
Smack.
Anyway, Spine's Reach has been super enthusiastic about helping you guys out because one, we enjoy continuing to exist. And two, I actually want to read Ink's quote on this. Spoilers, I am giving you news from Spine's Reach now. Give me 1 second to
Ooh.
navigate to the website, which is where the news is. Um, The presiding voice of Dwiren has contacted me to request Spyrian aid with the polluting of Dendara. The short explanation is thus: Shigeta, the plane of shadow, has been leaking elemental shadow in larger quantities than any of the other elemental planes can keep up with into the plane of life.
Oh
Unchecked, unchecked, this would mean that everything and everyone everywhere dies. As I rather like continuing to exist, it's a long standing hobby of mine. We're going to give them a hand. Also, frankly, it's nice to finally be asked our expertise in regards to the plane of shadow.
Oh yeah. No,
Ink has lovely and very straightforward news posts. All of his news posts are like that.
Yeah, you never have to guess what's going on. Ink is like, this is what's going on. You're like, okay.
hmm Complete with fun anecdotes. This is just how he is. It's wonderful.
I wonder.
Yeah, it's great because it's not all dressed up in flowery language. It's like, my darling republic.
Yeah, like
It's like,
this.
hey, jackasses.
I don't think I've ever called them jackasses, but this is my most recent one where I was telling them about the lumberjacks and like where things are and general what's going on. And then I put this because of Illical, because of Illidan. I put do not touch the people of the Bodhi in bold caps. Then there was a whole conversation on City. I'm like, hey, because Illy still didn't read some of the other posts. Like he was acting like he didn't know about certain things that were going on. I'm like, hey, did you see you're not supposed to touch the people of the Bodhi? Because he kept threatening them. And he's like, I do read sometimes, I'm like, I don't know. Do you?
You could have fooled me.
Exactly. So I got to have some wonderful, wonderful sass there, and it felt good. We've got a good candor when it comes to those kinds of jokes, usually.
I think Riri and Ellie would get along.
Probably.
I do too.
She's not really evil. She's more dutiful, quiet, and basically lawful neutral. These are what the laws say, so I'm going to do them.
Yeah, pretty much they would probably
Allie,
get
did
along.
you know that Riri has me listed as an enemy because one time I came over and slung my little fists and bit?
Hey, not one time. You have come to a couple of things. Thank you very much.
2 things. I have done 2 things and now I'm an enemy.
How dare you do? Oh my god, you guys, oil has petrichor as a smell.
What?
I need it.
Oh, we finally updated that.
Yes, I need it.
Okay. Get
we're-
ready to bite some like fucking final
Man to
boss
death.
man to death.
I'm
I'm
just
I
gonna
will
back away from all of this right now. You
Oh,
guys,
I will
we're excited about
perfumes.
perfumery.
I know.
So what's going on with that? Like, so the elder gods do have scented oils that you have to get by going through Oblivion Portent and the vaults.
Yeah,
You
I
get your funny pennies and you get those. So we've been updating the master
Hoarding
list to
them.
tell each other what those aromas are. And we finally have Yanai's and oh,
Yeah,
rejuvenating,
so
mossy, and petrichor. Beautiful.
yeah, so Allie's perfume of choice is called Petrichor, and it is I don't remember what I smell like. Give me 1 second.
You smell good.
wonder
I
if I
do
still,
smell good.
I wonder if I still got
Serene,
anything.
rainy, and sweetly earthen.
Let's see. Take 50 bottle from pack. Take 50 bottle. Take 50 bottle from pack. How many bottles? Ah, they all decayed. I have no cologne or perfume in my bag for once. I usually have like
Oh no.
spares in there. Either that or I've got them in storage somewhere. There's a very good chance of that too. I've got way too much crap in my backpack.
Mm,
And why?
Always.
And why?
Same.
I've got a translucent sapphire silk loincloth, and this certificate is like crowding up on it. That is just rude. Why you got to be crowding up on my
rude.
loincloth? Just don't be doing that.
I need
There's
to make
always some
somebody's
scrub up
gown.
in the club.
Got to
I
be
need
all
to
up in
make
my
somebody's
business.
gown.
Got to make some what now?
I need to make somebody's gown.
Oh, what are you making somebody's gown for?
She bought my tailoring services on a people
Oh,
auction. So I have to make her a gown, and I know what I want to do. I know what it will looks like. It's just actually putting that into words. I also have like 12 things to make for the order. I have so much shit to make. I should be logged in. Why am I not logged in?
yeah. It's like I'm
Because you're
sitting.
here talking to me and us and others.
Yes, exactly. Like me, I should probably be working on trying to do room descriptions for my house again. And I tried all day, and instead I ended up comparing Sunder Trigger to Sunder Trigger, like my Sunder versus normal Sunder, and going line by line and making sure I'm not missing anything.
So if you like,
Uh,
if you put together a very basic room description, I can flesh it out for you
oh no, no,
and
no!
make it pretty.
I am good. I appreciate it, and I've had like a couple of other people offer too, and I'm just like, nah, man, this is my house. I'm gonna fucking do it myself.
Understood. I
It's
need
like
to build.
make myself.
I will be buying housing permits next time that they're on sale so that I can make Ollie a completely vertical cliffside airy,
Nice. I don't have
which
one
is half open to the freezing cold of Spine's Range.
yet. Ew,
Because
that's
she likes being tall. That's why she's 7 feet tall. When she was mortal, she was only 5.5, and then she shot up like a foot and a half when she ascended.
nice.
Nerd.
And she grew an extra pair of wings just to make sure that she can fly.
Well, this is where my house is. So we're at the crossroads of chaos and dreaming. So north is chaos and south is the Sears Wood. Perfect little spot there. You just got to watch out for the rabbit trees.
Oh, that
I
sounds
have
fun.
I
Yeah.
like the Sears wood. It's very colorful.
Yeah.
It
I also
is.
have an Omeyan because I have everything.
Because you have everything. Exactly. So I've got right now it's just it's a 3-layer house here, which is a very similar map because I'm picturing
Hello,
that
Mr.
the
Birds.
entryway is over here to the west. Anyway, so that's how
Can
that
you
works.
show us a tour of your house?
It's not all the way built yet.
Why are you in a panic?
Who?
You're running around.
Oh, the flail. I was just that might be the lag of like seeing it on stream. But the flail is just that's just what I do. I just flail. But I was
Yeah.
trying to like navigate around and kind of give you a rough idea of the map. And also, yeah, hey Eric's, welcome. You know, Edge
Oh,
Lord.
that's Eric's. Hi,
Yes.
Eric's.
Yeah, that's Eric's Edge Lord McGee.
Ink said he had a very nice conversation with you the other day.
He did. I gave him a lovely lesson on cosmology. Yay.
Oh no, I meant with Eric's. I knew about the
with
conversation
Eric's.
with you.
Okay. Your title isn't that long anymore. Well, hey, I am still going to call you Edgelord McGee because that's just what I do.
But it can be, with your help and mine, for just 10 cents a day. For 10 cents a day, we can give Eric's his title back.
There you go. There you go. We'll give him his title back. What was I going to say now? We've
I
gotten
can't
so
honors
off
you. I
topic.
can honors you in the Aetolia Discord. Give me 1 second while I remember how to do that.
Oh, perfect.
Um,
He is now named. Who named you Edgelord McGee for me? Who did it? Because I owe them credits. If you did it to yourself, then I don't.
It was not me.
Well, you guys aren't, you know.
Yay!
Oh, perfect. I actually, you know what? Transfer 5 credits to Eric's. I will get for 0 gold. Right, I have to put the gold. There you go. Have a gift. Have a gift.
Good job, Eric.
Yay!
Good job.
I should pick up more trades. I have so much fun with crafting.
Oh gosh, look, I've got way too much crap. I'm addicted. I've got a problem.
I'm fairly aesthetic. That's not the right word.
Aesthetic.
Aesthetic. There we go. As far as stuff I actually have, but I love making things for people so much.
I do too, and then I get in spurts where I do, and then I do spurts where I don't. You know, it comes and goes. 5 credits will go towards Spirit Terra Gem. That is part of what I'm trying to figure out. Am I going to save credits for Spirit Terra Gem or not? I do love me
So
some Terra Gem.
Terradrim was in one of my older characters. I'm not going to alt out. Pietre knows all of my characters, but in one of my
Okay.
I think so. I'm pretty sure I sent you the list. Anyway, you know about this one. On my fire-haired girl. After she gave up vampire because Severn said vampires are bad, and I was like, yep, that tracks, and there were no more vampires. After I gave up on vampirism, I picked up Terradrim, and my god, I loved hunting as Terradrim. You're going to have so much fun. The only thing that's going to be better than hunting a spirit Terradrim is going to be hunting a spirit archivist, which I need. I need to be a spirit archivist.
Yeah, Spirit Archivist would be nice. That's what I'm waiting for because I love Archivist way too damn much, but I just can't do the roleplay anymore. I just can't. As much
You
as I
could
want
join
to.
the Sisson and spend time in Archivist.
I might have, and you can't see my pinky finger. I may have a Sisson.
If you do, say hello. Don't tell me it's you, just talk to me. I am desperate for more people to talk to.
Yeah, we look buddies.
It's just the only. It's like the bad thing is the fact that I have a character that's a city leader, so I end up being on them most of the time and don't get to play my other characters.
I understand. I was guild mistress once, and I didn't get to do anything besides that until I stopped being guild mistress. So I do know how that works.
Exactly.
But if you ever find yourself on your Sisson, whose name you do not need to give me because that's rude to demand, but if you ever find yourself on your Sisson, maybe it's a quiet day in Dwirin, or it's weird hours for Dwirin, I don't know when you guys are busy, or just like, I'm sure they do, Wyatt. I am absolutely sure that they do. But I didn't. I'm terrible at multitasking. I can barely keep. I have so many characters and I play like 2 of them. But if you ever find yourself with time, please come talk to me. I am desperate for interaction. At all times, I want to talk to everyone. I don't care what tether you're in. Be my friend.
Yes. True.
Be friends.
As long as you're not rude to werewolves.
Shouldn't have told me that. Time for me to be because Ren's a bear now. I gotta go do the whole superiority thing.
No, Allie legitimately dislikes werebears.
understandably, like when I told Rue that I was going to not Rue, like Rooks Rue.
I know who you mean.
Yeah, when I was telling her, hey, by the way, decided to be a bear because it suits me better, et cetera, et cetera. She just grumbled a lot and just, it's like, why? Why would you do that? Why? And got like understandably upset, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, Allie considers them child murderers. She really doesn't like them.
Well, hey, that sounds
She
like Duran, and at the core of it, as our theme has been through this entire conversation today, so kind of fits.
Yeah, she
LMAO.
she both really dislikes werebears and really dislikes vampires because those also have a very awkward history with werewolves.
They really do. They really do. Little slave doggies. I remember. And
Yeah, I am old enough to remember that.
yeah, Solaria very much treated them just like they were little doggy slaves. I remember those days. It was
Mhm.
hilarious.
It was in retrospect very funny.
Yeah.
But at the time when I was a little baby Atabahi, did not like it much.
No,
Wasn't having
no.
the best time.
No, as an Atabai, I bet it was not very funny, but to the other side, we were like, yeah, got ourselves some little doggies that can go do things during the daytime. Perfect.
I may have consumed multiple vampires when I was in the Atabahi as a tiny rebel. Um, and I will do so again, which I'm sure would delight Dwiren.
Oh, wait, which Rihrin or Rihrin?
Dwiren.
Oh, Dwiren. Okay. Oh gosh, that's gonna sound like how everyone pronounces our names too. Like it's Rihrin, Rihrin, Dwiren. I really still sound like I'm drunk. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I think we have
Ooh,
murdered the topic so far. I think we've
a
completely,
shout.
yeah, shouts about Albeti gods and stuff. So, but math is propaganda, typical
The
things.
vortex.
What
Okay,
the hell?
what was the actual topic? Because I came in the middle of this.
Okay, so there were two very loose topics. So there was intercity relationships where we were talking about the Spirians and Duran working together and the reasons why, et cetera, and kind of general, the newbie perspective and the old beast perspective of having those intercity relations. And then we moved into events that were going on. This was like way later. In Spine's Reach, which is just the Basilisks thing, and then we went to the Durrani events, and then we've kind of, the train ran off the tracks, and we are wherever the fuck we are now, which is fantastic. I am happy with it, but I'm like, we
Let's
have definitely murdered it.
let's bring it home.
Let's bring it home. Let's bring it
So
home.
I know the Spirian impression of Dwiren. I do not know the Dwirani impression of Spine's Reach.
They think we're dumb.
We also
Ah,
think you're dumb, so that's fair.
that's fair. It's more of a they can't be trusted because Sizzin are liars, et cetera, et cetera. Severin can't be trusted because he backstabbed Hearn by killing the piece of Dendara, which was kind of precious considering everything that I said earlier. Since Dendara is dying, all that fun stuff.
So
Um,
until this event happened where you approached Ink, I knew literally nothing about Dendara.
yeah, that
To
seems
the
to
point
be a
where
theme.
like Heron was very upset about it. I'm like, why should I care? I don't understand why I should care.
Yeah, and that's why I had to give Ink a lesson on it. It's just like, what do you know? Oh, you know jack shit. Perfect. Let me teach you. And it was a fun
It's
little
almost like
lesson.
it was on purpose, because their relationships, nobody talks.
Exactly.
I have I
Bu-bu-bu-bu-boo.
have I have brought up the idea of doing like a very simple help the basics or something like that, where there's just a very simple layman's terms breakdown of all of the lore specific nonsense in this game, and people give me so much backlash for that. I'm like, listen, I don't know what Dendara is for. It would nice to have a 2-sentence blurb that explains it.
Well, that's the thing, is like I was saying it earlier, I don't know if we know literally what it means and what it defines the plane of life for. I get that it's like the animals are obviously from the plane of life. That's kind of their thing. And so are plants, etc. I feel like, if Dendara is gone, you're not going to have plants, you're not going to have food, etc. But I don't know that what that means for the cycle precisely, as far as like, if you die and there's no life plane, do you still go to the mirror and come back, or are you basically trapped because the life plane is kind of part of the cycle where it helps bring you back? And that's part
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of fuzzy on. And hey, if other players know for sure the answer here, please educate me. I am more than happy to learn on this, because
But I don't even need like that much depth. Something that went, Dendara is the plane of life, and it's where life comes from, would
well,
have put so much into perspective that I didn't know until this
well,
conversation started.
there is the help cosmology help file, which I found out about from other players. I didn't know about it either, where it talks about the different planes and it refers to Dendara as the plane of life here in this file. And then it does, yeah, the actual Dendara file itself is very generic and doesn't really talk about what Dendara itself is, which I do think is a detriment to people understanding what it's for. But I also think it's
Yeah,
supposed to be
I just want
intentional.
I just want a help basic lore thing for newbies, for little baby tiny players.
Yeah.
Um
Like
where
me?
it's just and apparently like me. Because now it's showing up on your screen. Because I have been sitting here the entire time only knowing about help Dendara. I'm like, okay, that's great for you, but I don't see how this applies to me.
Yeah.
Whereas help basic knowledge, Dendara, the plane of life, is where life comes and is sustained from.
Yeah.
That that is all we need to know on a basic level. Anything more than that can come from interacting with people. But if this is supposed to be common every day, everyone knows this knowledge, it should be easy to find.
Well, my thing is, I don't know if it
And
is supposed to be public knowledge. That's why we're being very careful about what we're relaying, as far as
no,
like the dying and those sorts of things, just kind of be a little
yeah,
bit
well,
vague.
Wyatt is here. If that's correct, could you guys make a help basic knowledge thing with just all of the realm and setting specific things? Like Spines Reach is a city that used to be Ankiri that values scientific freedom, and Dwirin guards Dendara, and Enorian doesn't like Spines Reach or Bloodlock, and I don't actually know what else they do besides that, and I live there.
Well, you mean like
um
what who does?
Well,
Enorian. I don't know what Enorian's deal is apart from being against Spines Reach and Bloodlock.
Oh, they are basically the people that are trying to work towards the Age of
I know
Dawn.
you don't all I know you don't all hate Spines Reach, you just are against us. I do by against us I mean that if it came to blows you would not be on our side.
Yeah. It's mostly it's the whole Age of Dawn thing. They're trying to do that. They are very pro Duamvi, pro Spirit, and Shadow hurts Duamvi and Spirit, so they have to kind of lean into being very much anti-Shadow, and obviously anti-Shadow is also leading into the whole anti-undead and anti-vampirism, because
There are plenty
Valdez.
of people in Spines Reach who are anti-undead and anti-vampirism. I am one of them. I don't like either of those things. By the way, we are incredibly suspicious of Dwanvi. We think they're parasites and that you're all crazy.
Pretty much a hot take that I think a lot of Durrani people think too, but it's not everyone. There are a handful of Duamvi that are in Duran, just not nearly as
hmm
many.
We just think that opening your soul to parasites is a little bit off kilter, and perhaps you shouldn't have done that before you knew more about what you were getting into. But it's happened now, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's pretty much the thing. Trying to think of what else with Honorian. I mean, they're just supposed to be like the beacon, the place of hope, and try to, stand up for, good,
I do not
works and
want a
things like
soul
that.
cuddle buddy, Wyatt.
As soul cuddle buddies. Okay, Duwamvi, and this is just my take, will always be that they are the Tok'ra. But they may
The
be
what?
the Tok'ra. This is a very much a Stargate reference.
I don't know
Tok'ra,
what that is.
yeah, Tok'ra basically are, there's the Gua'uld, which are the bad guys in that, which are symbiotes that take over the host body and control it. And then there's the Tok'ra, which are basically the same thing, but they don't take over the body. They coexist together. And that's what the Duamvi are. So they are, little parasites inside your body, but they share your body. You merge, you blend, as they call it in Stargate. And
Yeah, I don't trust
yeah,
that
and
at all.
I don't trust it either. I mean, my character was one twice and will never be one again. But that's a whole Centauri balance thing. Anyway, rambling again. This is the rambling stream where
That is fine.
away.
So I missed a lot at the beginning. I have a question for you.
Ooh, a question for me.
What? I think I asked already. What does Rihrin think of Spine's Reach? Because you guys attack us for no reason a lot.
Okay.
And by you guys, I mean Acid.
I was gonna say Sid is his own person in this, and that is Sid being Sid. He likes to just go stir shit. That's just what he does, and he will admit to it as much regularly. So not a big surprise there. So when it comes to Sid's issues, those are his beast. Those are his demons. But a lot of it has to do, and this is honestly why even my character is really reluctant to go work with Spine's Reach, is that you guys are patroned by Severin. Severin fucked us over, and we hate Severin. And we hate him very, very, very passionately because of what he did to
I
that
love
thing.
him.
Yeah, you guys
I
can
love him.
It's like you guys can love him, but he literally said he was going to work with Hearn, and then he killed a piece of Dendar, which is very precious. So this is why Duran really passionately hates Spine's Reach. Is solely because of Severin's bad choice. And it sucks, but that is why.
Well, that I don't enjoy that kind of thing, if only because it's like, well, that's that god's choice. I just arrived here.
Yeah, and that's why my character has been a little bit more lax on individuals, like Pietre and everything. She recognizes that it wasn't everyone that made that decision. And if the people, seem like the type that would not have supported what happened, she'll be like, okay, we're cool. We're good. I'm not going to, hate on you. But the rest that seem like they're a little bit sketchy and probably do really like Severin, she's just going to be like, nah, man, I don't trust you. I will be loosely attempting to, but there's a very good chance that I really don't trust you very much.
Fair.
That's fine. I just worship a dragon, and have decided that I would like to be one.
I mean, nothing wrong with that.
That is Aliyah's entire character arc at the moment. I worship a dragon, and I would like to be a dragon. So I'm going to act like one as much as possible. Which does mean she's very honest. Very, very honest.
Yes, and I think that's the one reason why Rin is trusting Nizavi is because of the fact that, unlike Bamantha's group, which ended up being they Duran calls him the Oathbreaker now because of the whole Severin thing. Tanny is very much the type that, if she says she's going to eat you, she's going to eat you. And people that follow her, have their own oaths and all this other stuff, and it's a respective oath. So most of the Tanny people, if they are part of the conversation, Rin's going to be a little bit more lenient on the not trusting bit, just because she's like, okay, they keep their word, because if not, I feel like the dragon would just eat them if they found out.
Yep.
Exactly.
500%.
And that fear of being eaten by a dragon is probably enough to stop them from, lying. So that helps. That comes to those individuals' benefits. Benefits?
I'm
Benefits?
I noticed yesterday that I am now one of Tenazelthus's official order representatives, which is very exciting, and I did cry.
What's that?
I am an order representative for
Oh, right.
Tenazelthus.
Oh, right. That's what you were saying earlier. Well, congratulations, by the way, on that. Very happy for you.
She didn't tell me she was doing that. So I found out when Finid reached out to me, and I was like, "Why do you know that I worship her?"
Oh.
um, I'm like, "Who told you that?"
How did you miss it, though? Because you get a message when it
No,
happens.
I must have been offline.
Oh, well, you still should have gotten a message in your messages.
I
Hmm.
got a message that I was promoted. I did not get a message that I was an order representative.
Oh, maybe they
So
don't do it on the rep thing then. Okay. It's been so long since I've been one, so I don't remember.
I'm not in any religions because my character is afraid that if he asks the wrong question, somebody's going to come and ice him. He's
I
not into
mean,
that.
it's a very valid concern. Rin follows Ome now, and it's very much because of the whole astral thing, but it's a very long story that I don't
I
need to
have
get
an
into.
Omayan.
Omans are good. Omans are fun. We get high and we talk and we go make pretty paintings and stuff.
I got to insult someone in the congregation. It was fun.
Did you give him a wedgie?
No, but I did tell him that he used a lot of words to say very little of meaning.
Oh, nice.
What,
You make an awful lot of effort and say an awful lot of things for little to no context.
wait, what was this now?
I got to insult someone on Ome's congregation, and it was fun.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure I know who
I'm
you were
sure you know
insulting.
who it is. I
I'm
know it begins with an S.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, you two are shady.
he was talking a lot.
I
So
didn't say
and
you were wrong.
Yeah,
yeah, no,
you're not wrong at all, and
he
it's
was
okay.
talking a lot, and so he was annoying Ome. So I was like, you use an awful lot of words to say things that have very little meaning, and I got a favor for it. So
Yeah.
and then I sent Ome coffee.
That was a very good plan. I remember that actually, and I just was laughing my ass off when it
Yeah, you
happened.
were there.
I was there, and I was like, that is perfect. That is perfect. Because
Um,
it just was so annoying. Anyway,
that person has also been in the Sisson.
yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably best on my part to not talk about this person.
Valid.
That's yeah. So let's see what other.
Quiz, my darling. I will tell you later. I will share. I will spill the tea later.
Thank you,
Well,
thank
it's
you.
one of those like I remember being told about this, but one of the wonderful features of my brain is that it tends to just automatically delete stuff. So it's like, wonder what
Hmm.
that's about.
It does make you very bad at spying, but very good at talking to people. Because everything they say is interesting and new.
Yes, absolutely. I like people a lot. That's why I'm good at that aspect. However, it's like, memory issues? And yet somehow I don't have ADHD? Something sounds wrong.
I don't possess a memory unless it comes to anecdotes. So
Basically, yeah.
unless it's funny, I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good way to live, really.
that would be amazing if I could own. No, actually, I don't want to not remember other things, but that would be great if that was the primary amount of my memories were just the funny ones, because then I could just remember something briefly, like tap into that brain, and just randomly laugh around people, and they just look at me weird. I mean, people do that anyway, but then I could just have a reason in my own head of saying, that's funny, ha ha ha, and then
Yeah,
it'll be good.
it has led to a life of joy and mutual confusion.
Eric, you just want me to open this on stream, and I know it, so I'm gonna open your letter because you were far seeing me. Oh, no, no. I do not do the gamification. I am not doing the crossword. Do you really need me to on
Oh,
stream?
gaming is fun. We'll help
I
you.
like the crossword.
We'll help you.
Yeah.
Probe crossword. I don't know how this thing works anyway. Read crossword. Okay.
Oh, it'll tell you.
Oh God. Clues.
Is it the beginner one?
Oh, did
Yes.
you
Oh
really?
no.
Did you really make this based off of our thing today? All flesh is meat. Because a lot
Oh,
of the
okay.
Oh. Let
Then,
me see if I know anything from this one because I do have um
so this is
spirit characters.
one across. All flesh is meat. So I don't know if these are like supposed to be like
He
quotes.
says
um,
there's skills for spirit
Oh,
characters.
oh,
oh,
there's
okay. I got nothing. Never mind.
that would
Um
probably be consume, but I don't know. How many letters? One, two, three, four, five, six. CONS. Nope, that's not going to be right. I'll have to think about this later.
it might be something from who eats people. Huh.
Werewolf. I mean, shifters are about the
Cross
only
is all,
class.
okay, across is all Honorian and Dwyran. Classes. SHIFTE. No, that's also too many letters. Um,
What do you use to cut meat? A knife.
Wayfarer? I don't know.
Probably Durav or something.
It's
I don't
it
know.
across is classes and down is skills.
Classes. Oh, so like the actual class skills starts with a
Starts
C.
with a C? I don't fucking know.
Uh, are you talking
I
like
mean,
he says across is? Oh, no, right. Oh no, across and down are just the skill names. Okay. Yeah, I will have to sit here and toy around with it. I am not doing this live on the stream because I will look like a complete and utter failure.
yeah, gods if I know. Anyway, I don't have a bard yet. I need a bard.
I
Bard is fun.
have heard mixed
I
Bard
reviews.
seems fun. Where can I put the bard is the question.
I am not a fighter, so I like using my bard abilities to put on silly little shows. Like the very first thing I did when I had weaving for signage is make a sign that said butts.
I saw
So
the
Valid.
screenshot of that. That is the best thing ever.
yeah, I mean,
I could
like, are you
where
truly enjoying this game if you're not doing something real dumb?
Okay, I have to check my alts now. Give me 1 second.
Yeah,
Maybe you have to be a little bit stupid to have fun. Just saying.
you definitely do. You definitely do. I am often very stupid, so it makes sense.
Okay, where do I have people living? Bloodlock, Spines Reach, Bloodlock, Spines Reach, retired, Dwyran, retired.
Okay.
Anorian, Spines. Okay, so Dwyran would be the place to get the bard.
That seems to be where we're getting a lot of bard novices right now.
We have a lot of them too, and we need to help new bards like
We
really
do.
badly. But I don't know anything about bards, so I can't write that. Um,
Well, I can give you, this is
or I have
meta, but
uh,
I can do it. It's okay, just to help you guys out. I wrote this, so it's probably
toss it
not that great.
toss it to Ink because I can't edit C helps. And
Okay,
he is listening to this, he has confirmed it.
okay. If I can spell his name correctly, which
INKH. It's the word ink with an H at the end of it.
I keep spelling like ink the old one like that. That's out of habit. I'm so sorry.
We're gonna
um
have to call the actual police for this one.
yes, you are being arrested, I'm sorry.
The what?
Hi
The actual
Yeti.
Oh,
police.
hi
Who's the Yeti
Yeti.
monster? Is that Yetave? Hi
Yeah,
Yetave.
that's Yeti. And honestly, Yeti, like we've been at it for almost 3 hours, which is an impressive amount of time for me. I usually don't last this long, and my husband's probably going to go to bed soon, and I just realized it. Oh,
Uh-oh.
he'll tell me. He'll tell me if he does, and I'll just shut my door. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, let's see. Oh gosh, you don't need to see that other message. I know, Wyatt. Before you say anything, I could do something else instead, but I like to spam QWho. Sorry.
I also do that, so it's fine. It's the best command.
Exactly. It's the easiest one to just be like boop boop, spam enter.
Also, I also always want to know who's around, so.
And there's that. It's a very useful thing to see.
So I have a random question. Do you use peers?
Peers.
Peers.
What is peers?
Wedding? Wedding.
You're certainly making some words over there, hun.
Oh, peers. So like allies, enemies, and peers.
Oh, okay.
I do not use peers. I don't know what peers is.
So peers is another way to highlight people's names so that they show up really easily
Yeah, no.
without adding them to your ally list or your enemy list so that there's no weird effects on them in combat. I use it to mark people I want to talk to.
That is very useful, and you know what? I probably need to do that for a good number of people. I mostly have people allied. No, actually, most of them are valid allies right now, but I have done it just solely in the past for colorization.
It's another way of coloring things, and unlike ally and enemy lists, there's no limit to it.
Nice.
So if you go into config color, you can see that you can color peers.
Oh gosh, I'm not going to show my color config.
I need to see.
Oh, come on.
Please.
Listen, Rihrin, no, Dane. Rihrin
Yes?
already got yelled at by Wyatt for making enemies green and allies red. We can't go over this twice.
No,
I'm not going to yell at you. I need to know.
So here we go. I have a lot of pink for the channels that I want to pay attention to.
That's fine. Pink is a good color.
Pink is a good color. Or fuchsia. I guess it's actually fuchsia.
I'm going to go.
I used the salmony one for mobs moving in.
I have this. This is, and these are honestly, these are very original.
We'll see it in a minute.
Colors. So.
Oh, I'm from Achaea too. Are you willing to share who you used to play?
Yeah, no one's gonna know who it is. It was Maya, Maia. It's been.
I know Maya.
Really?
Yes, but in your defense, Maya Achaean is over 500 years old.
That is a valid way to know that my character still exists. Let's see. Achaea. Let's see. I still log in occasionally just to screw around and see who's logged in. Oh, that should be my password, which you guys should not be seeing.
I didn't see anything.
I see nothing. I am covering my eyes.
It's okay. I will have to password change.
I'm fucking around on a sweet rave party.
A sweet rave party?
Yeah, I'm drawing a sweet rave party.
Oh, is that for what I think it is?
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Do you need any references
No,
from me?
Let's see. What is my age? How do I even see that?
Score.
606 years old.
Oh, I have to check now. Why would you do this to me? How old am I?
Let's see. Is anyone on that I know? Mom is not on. Landon's not on. Nope. Oh, wait. Is Prophecy on? No, that would be the only person I probably would know.
I see my daughter. Is there anyone else I know? I know you.
A compassionate hug. How sweet.
Who do I know? I know Mayapple. I know you. I know my daughter.
I know none of these people.
I know Eric.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I think that's all of them.
Yeah,
who are you people?
I don't know any of these people. Okay. Back to QQ.
Anyway, I am 525.
Very nice.
My mom is Tekla, which is a name I'm sure you know.
Very, very vaguely remember it. I have not played Achaea since... No, I still played it briefly while I was playing Aetolia, so I probably played it until like 2002 or 3, and then I
know the Rihrin family very well. I have so many Goddamn clans. Um. Anyway, yeah, I'm a 525-year-old bard in Achaia, and I check in occasionally to see if Scarlatti is back, and that's really all I care
Yeah,
about.
I keep looking for some of the Rian people that I knew to log in. They never do, but I'd like to go in there and just see. I did see Landon recently. That's my character's mentor, so I nagged him a little bit. We had a little conversation, so that was nice.
Did you know that BW does the same thing as QW?
Yes.
So for the longest time when I was new in Achaia, I didn't know QW existed, which is way easier to type. I mean, not right now because at the moment my Q key does not work, but under normal circumstances, QW is way easier. And now that I'm used to it, I keep trying to head west. Um, but for the longest time, I just did BW, and people are like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "It shows me the people who are around."
Yeah, it's like QW. I always learned that one because it was quick who. So the Q. I do not know what the BW stands for.
Brief who?
Brief who. Okay, that is what I did always wonder. Is like I knew what quick who was. I knew what that was, but I didn't know why it was BW.
Yep, I learned with BW, so it took a long time in Aetolia to outlearn it, and that's unfortunate because I no longer have a Q key. So I keep trying to do that.
You need.
Wait, does BW not work
It does
here?
work. Yeah.
BW still works, but I keep trying to type QW,
Yeah.
which is difficult without a Q.
Yeah. It's like here I am. I did BW. Here I am. I did QW. So identical.
Oh, you actually track your commands. I don't do that at all.
I
I
I have to because when I go and do PvP stuff, I want to go back and see what the actual commands were that was sent. And obviously, I do have the queue system, so I can see a lot of that from Sunder. But I'd like to confirm what was actually sent in comparison to what it was trying to send, just in case there was error in my code, like if I missed a separator or things like that. I want to be able to actually see it. So yeah,
Hi
and it's also
newbies.
it's from
Hi
my
Pietre.
it's from my
Huh?
Telnet days too. I hated
I'm
What?
seeing
Telnet.
you talk
Oh,
on. I'm
yeah.
seeing you talk on newbie.
Oh.
That is
Oh.
fair.
Uh, okay. Who's talking about me
I'm looking
now?
to see if you have Pietre colored. Excuse me. You
Oh no,
have
I'm
him
enemied.
enemied.
Yes, we were
We went
talking
over
about
this
that.
earlier on.
I
It,
understand now.
it's because
Why?
I went to two lesser.
So
I'm
I
so
am not.
bad.
I am not judging you. I am just curious about your thought process. Why green and red in that order?
Okay, so
This is exactly what I was talking about. Wyatt got into it earlier.
yes, he got into it earlier because he's like, red should be enemies, green should be allies. Why is it like that? Blah 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 blah
You
blah.
can do whatever you want. I'm curious about the association in your brain.
Okay, it's not even an association in my brain. Like, there's no specific one besides that I'm old and have been doing it this way for years. It is
Valid.
whoever I played with when I was on Achaia taught me to do it this way, and I have stuck with it ever since. Now, some of my other config colors have changed, but the majority of them have stayed the same, besides a few, and this is something I didn't say earlier, a few that I picked up from Mazian when I was using his system. I started changing a few of my colors, but majority definitely stayed the same as what I have had for too many years. Sorry.
No, I'm not mad at you. I am not judging you. I'm just that's curious. That's not something I see very often. I shall ask about it. Thank you for the explanation.
You are quite welcome, and you are far more respectful than Wyatt was.
How dare he?
Oh, I
I
love the
know.
tone shift.
Oh man, I'm good at switching and doing dramatic tones. That is my thing.
So I can go from up here, which is really soft and sweet, to down here in like a second.
I don't know that I can do. Can I do soft? I guess I can do soft.
Kinda.
Soft.
Kinda.
I can't do baby voice very well.
I work in customer service, so I have a customer service voice.
I work
You
in
put that
customer
cursed
service
thing
too.
away.
I'm not using it right now.
It's like
That was preemptive.
I very much have I still have my customer service voice. I don't have to be on phone calls besides internal ones as much as I used to do.
Valid. I work at a doctor's office as a secretary, so
So you need it.
people who are sick want to talk to someone who sounds sweet.
Yep. That's where the southern accent, like putting it on heavy, sometimes could really come in handy until
You
they think you're an idiot. And then you have to put on the
valid.
like Wisconsin one, don't you know? Oh, honey, where you put on that accent and they just think you're the sweetest thing in the world more than with the southern accent.
What accent? I mean, I can do Irish really well. As I said, I have some cousins in the area.
Very nice, very impressive.
Well, it's kind of I talk to these people all the time, and therefore, I get stuck in my head. I will not be doing that for too long because I will be unable to stop. So we're gonna drop that now.
I was gonna say, probably don't need to keep doing that, or you're going to.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
think.
don't. I do not sound like I'm from New York, so people around here constantly ask me, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm on Long Island." And they're like, "No, where are you actually from?" And I'm like, "I have lived here my entire life, uh,
You can.
and I still do."
It's like you can unlearn your accents. I mean, that's obviously what actors do. And I have to take my time now because I haven't had to practice in a while, but if I steadily talk and I enunciate and take my time, I can get rid of my southern accent. I just prefer not to because it's
It's
much easier for me.
charming.
And it is charming, exactly. I don't need to not be charming. I can keep my country self just like I am.
You are charming, and there is no reason that you should change. I do not think you are stupid in the slightest.
I know. It's just it's honestly when I was working customer service, that is what they would think half the time. So I would stop when they would start to treat me stupid and say, "Look, I'm going to speak very evenly and keep a steady voice so you can know that I'm not stupid."
Unvalid. Some of my coworkers get so much nonsense, and it is a shame.
People are stupid. People just are, and
It is a
it is
shame.
a shame.
These are people who have more education than I do, because I'm only at a high school, honestly. I have tried college many times, and ADHD said no, so we just stopped.
I understand.
um, so while these are people so much more educated and at least as smart as I am, probably smarter, at least insofar as they have studied things and therefore know them, and I'm just kind of picking things up as they interest me along the way. Um, but they get so much nonsense because they have an accent that doesn't sound American, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you people are so rude.
People are just assholes. I experienced it with work. With
Yeah,
we were
I get past people from my coworkers a lot who
yes,
just don't respect them.
yes. We literally. I have a lot of team members that are in Mexico, and they are brilliant people. They do a fantastic job. But and
Hmm.
this is an issue with Americans in this case specifically, and not unexpected. But I've had so many of them get very racist where they're like, I need someone that speaks English properly. And I'm like, they're speaking
Oh my
very,
god.
these are professionals
Ooh.
that are project managers and been doing it for years.
I'd like
And
to see you speak Spanish.
yes, that's what I
Chop
feel like.
chop.
It's like they are very capable. They understand. They may say things a little bit differently, but that doesn't mean their English is any better or worse. Or let's get that right. That means it's any worse than the way that you're speaking it. At least they understand what they are saying half the time, and you don't. So just go fuck off.
Listen, I'm not bilingual, so you can be quiet.
Exactly. It's like they are bilingual. They are speaking very clearly. They have an accent, yes, but they are speaking very clearly. My team
I am
members are
trying to
amazing.
be I am trying to be bilingual. That would be exciting one day. But that will take more study.
Yeah. I
If they're using the wrong dangling participle, God help me.
Oh
oh,
god.
oh my
Do
gosh.
you know how much I actually worry about that in Japanese?
No.
Constantly. Yeah, so grammar plays a big part in how Japanese works,
Yeah.
and I am terrified of saying things in the wrong order.
Yeah, sure, baby, but I am dunking on people who are being like that for no reason.
Yeah,
That's
like
valid.
this is the one that ends up annoying them and the most with Americans is that when they say I have doubts, like concerns or questions, they instead say doubts instead. That's just the word they use, and it is actually completely common. Every single one of my team members, and they're from different regions of Mexico, they all say it that way. They just say doubts
I
instead of
mean,
concerns or questions, and it still makes sense, but they nitpick at that. They say, what does that even mean? I'm like, it means they have concerns or questions. What do you mean? What does it mean?
it means they are dubious. Shut up.
Yes.
Someone's using the technically incorrect word, and I am going to call every lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
oh,
see.
we have gotten so far off topic.
We have, and I was gonna say, I do think that my husband's probably either in bed and being very nice, or is going to be going to bed soon. I can't tell for sure, but lights are off, so I'm fairly certain. So I am gonna go ahead and I am going to disappear. Do you two need to continue talking?
I
No,
mean,
I think we can keep our
we can.
captive audience and give them a break and let them go about their business from
You're
this
all
fever dream.
free.
You
You're
can
You're
all
all free,
free
darlings.
from.
you can
Thank you for
fly
sticking
free.
it out. I hope it was entertaining.
Yes, you no longer have to deal with me and my free associative ADHD brain
It's
and topic jumping.
it's
Congratulations to Leos, though.
I was gonna, yes, congratulations to our Leos, the Bard newbie. Well done. And honestly, you guys both, your brains work very similarly to mine. So this was fantastic. I had a lot of fun. I
I
hope you
will
two
be
had
on.
fun.
You absolutely feel free to invite me anytime. I can't do it on most weekdays besides Fridays. I know you do this on Tuesdays too, because I work until late. But I can do it any weekend, and Fridays are fine.
Yay. Well, maybe we'll bring you in on the next one, depending on whatever I figure out I'm going to talk about, which I don't know yet. But we'll figure it out.
Cool beans. I'm looking forward
Cool.
to the guild one.
Yay. I'm
Yay!
excited.
I love talking about lore and culture. We could have a lore and culture thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We can look
That
into
would be
that.
fun.
That would be
Yeah,
fun.
let's do a lore one.
Okay, cool. Well, for now, though, we are going to go and we're going to escape. Thank you again, yes, to all of our people that sat and listened to us, and for all the people listening on demand. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will hopefully be back on Sunday. Bye.
Toodles!
Later,
Bye bye.
sugar cookies.
That's so cute!
Sugar cookies.
I love
Sugar
you. Bye
cookies.
bye.
Bye.